Good evening, everybody. Dabman Walking 55 here with you at 2 minutes after 9 on the East Coast, along with the great JT Kirk. JT, how are you tonight?
Hello, good evening. Just enjoying some back to work blues after a long weekend, of which I worked most of it. So I don't know. I'm doing all right, I guess.
Were you able to manage to get a little bit of football in this weekend?
Yes, I got to watch the Ohio State game.
Oh, now you're traitor. You call them the Ohio State. Sorry.
Well, the game, not the Ohio State game.
You and I agree that that's the height of arrogance.
Oh, yes.
The university.
You're flipping hubris.
Nah. Yes. Star Trek STD. No, that's
yeah,
Picard.
Yeah.
That's Picard.
Yeah.
Picard or whatever. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope Snorpoopus is still with us. You know, he got in here early. I'll be here till I'm not. Sleep will take me at some point. And that's what we deal with, Snort. It's always good to have you here with us tonight and every night that you're here with us. So, all right, it says we got 8 people. What? Oh, let's go Bears. You got your own cheering section, Snorpoopus, if you heard that. The honorary bear. But anyway, folks, welcome in. We got a lot to get into, a lot to cover tonight, and a lot of stuff to be said. So we will see. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We get 50 more subscribers. We'll hit 750, and then we will get to have a party and a celebration. But don't forget to hit that like button, please. Mrs. Is at 650 now. So
catching up.
She's catching up very quick, and then to pass me, and she finally got to that plateau, and so hopefully 700 soon. And all. Hey, Snort, waved a pair. Snort waved a paw back at you, honorary bear. It's a family event around here. We're all involved, especially when the missus is streaming in the living room. But hey, hit that like button and everything else. And hello, Citrus. Hi, Fruitcakes is football. The other thing is called soccer. I agree. But our friends like Anna from Russia and the UK and other Europeans, I think Legatus probably would also maybe disagree that football is what we call soccer here. But hey, it's all good. Hey, that's what we do. Spirit of debate. So make sure you hit that like button. Like I said, 10 of y'all here on the YouTube. We got 1 on Twitch. Make sure you follow us on Twitch if you're over there. Let us get going. Follow up. Hey, we got I like the way you say Mr. Burr. Very distinguished. And hey, Fallout Dave. Good to see you tonight. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
Well, we're up to 14,
JT. Back after the weekend was good.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it because we got 14 on the YouTube side here right here.
To Figgy Plays.
Oh man, hey, Figgy Plays. Hello out there everywhere. I can't stay tonight, but I want to stop by. Hey, thank you, Figgy. I appreciate that. I had the same situation with someone else earlier, but thank you for being here and saying hi. Good to see you tonight. Hope you're doing well. Okay, here Snort asks, how are things going, Grandma, Dad, man walking? And thank you for the prayers. She is actually she's getting better, but there's still some long-term concerns. But she is scheduled to go home tomorrow as we understand it. So I think people are excited for that. And again, thank you for everything that y'all do and all the support. So, all right. I think you mean big hugs, but we'll take bug hugs too. Figgy, great to see you though. Thank you for that. And hugs
for yourself,
back to you.
Dad, man. I don't want any bugs hugging me.
By the way, on the 18th of the month, I will be having a chilling with Figgy Plays, by the way. So mark your
very nice.
It will be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I look forward to that. Okay. Just got a message
from people just walked in.
I just got messages from a kid. Ahoy, Deeple 101. Yeah. Good to see you. How are you doing tonight? Hey, good to see you. Yeah, it will be almost 2 months. It's been like a month and a half between 2 different places. So yes. Yeah. What? Dadman's having chili with Figgy? No, not that. So hey. All right. Deeple said, want to stop and say go Bugs for the SEC people. Exactly, dude. Hey, JT's here
Not
with the
much
big
they can say this week.
No. 2 big eggs that they dropped this week. The SEC is definitely running. And what's one of the things I've heard some to talk about is, uh, college football is changing. The landscape has changed dramatically with the NIL and the transfer portal, and it's seeming to shift the balance of power. Maybe we won't have those dominating teams anymore, like they had been before.
I just, Texas usually just wins all their big games before October, and now they're not even doing that. So, don't know what to tell you.
Well, it's like, but I'll tell you what, if we go back and look at Texas's schedule, it's like kind of weak. I mean, the SEC, that's the thing is some of the SEC elites have very weak conference game schedules. Some that are in the middle, like Florida, have a brutal schedule. And then some of the weak teams like Vanderbilt, I mean, they don't it's like, why don't you have the upper echelon teams who it is have a tougher schedule, but we know that how that goes. We can't do that. So
right.
Yes, and yes, Depot 101, as much as I will like to mock the Big 10 by calling them the Big 12 all the time, or the Big 450, they did earn it this week. We will look at the action in the conference this week. So yes, everybody's not looking forward to not spending long nights at the hospital. Yes, I agree with that. It's been, and the missus has taken over a lot of nights too, especially so I can stay at work. But hey, thank you everybody, and that's the update on her. We'll keep you updated in case things change. A lot of stuff is fluid by one moment to the next. Well, JT, shall we kick off at a matter of speaking with our top 25 looking back from last week? God, I can't even. I'm already not even English.
Let's hurry up and do it before things fall off the
Jeez,
more.
Yeah, I understand that, Deeple. I understand that, Deeple.
And I'm ready for the recap, Dadman, and I think you know why I'm ready for the recap.
Because Ohio State? I'm just kidding.
Well,
no,
I know. We'll see it. We'll see it.
All right. Well, let's look on the 28th. We actually had top 25 action beginning on Thursday night with upset. Well, which I don't necessarily think this is an upset with Judy, not Jody, not with Boise State anymore. They look very pedestrian. They got slaughtered by the Bulls of South Florida, 34-7. South Florida runs off with 34 unanswered points. South Florida's next matchup is in the swamp against the Florida Gators. A game that the Gators thought would be an easy game could be a difficult game looking at this team this week. So, but we'll talk more about that later. Friday night, Illinois crushed Western Illinois 52-3. As you see, Beatty return a punt, broke Red Grange's 102-year-old record in number 12 Illinois' opening round. Action on Saturday, we got Texas going on the road to the Horseshoe to Ohio State University, and Ohio State comes away with a 14-7 win. We'll take a look about that in a little bit more in a bit. Number 2, Penn State wins at home over Nevada 46-11. LSU goes on the road, the Battle of the Tigers. ACC versus SEC in Death Valley. How the hell do we keep having everybody with a stadium named Death Valley? I mean, LSU at Clemson, both are Tigers, and both play in a stadium they call Death Valley. But LSU pulls away in the second half. They were down 10-3 at the half. We'll look at this a little bit later. But scored 2 touchdowns in the third and fourth quarter to win this game 17-10. Georgia holds serve, 5th rank against Marshall 45-7. Oregon trashes Montana State 59-13. Game of the day for JT Kirk. We'll take a look at this one. FSU at home stuns number 8 Alabama. The Gus Bus, who is now offensive coordinator, he left the head coaching job at UCF to be offensive coordinator at Florida State. Wins at home, looks very, very good. Also in this game, they have a quarterback, Thomas Castellanos, that actually won for Boston College in Tallahassee last year. So look at that in a bit. Arizona State wins 38-19 over Northern Arizona. Your favorite, Michigan Wolverines. Sorry, JT. No, that's the hated Michigan. They beat New Mexico. See, a game like this is one that I wonder it could be a sign of problems for the Wolverines. They win at home 34-17 over New Mexico. That's one of those games that to me kind of looks is this Michigan team really as good as they say that they are, or people think they are, or did New
No,
Mexico just? I
no.
mean, how do you? I mean, these are the type of games that I think it's you got to be careful what message you take away from it.
I don't take much away from it. Really, I don't think New Mexico is that good of a football team. So,
Well, see, but the thing is, then why would Michigan beat them like 50-10 or something, or 50-0 or something? Well, it looks pretty close at 34-10, though. I mean,
they're up
34-17.
24-10 at halftime. So, put in some of your backups.
Yeah, just an awfully close score for me. I'm starting. I really wonder about Michigan. Of course, we got Michigan on the road at Oklahoma this week, so we'll be talking about that a little bit. The game that should have never been played, and this is why I didn't really. I watched some of it, but I didn't get excited because see, Florida should have beaten friggin' Long Island like 100-0, but they ended up 55-0. They had only a 38-0 lead at halftime. Dude, this was pathetic. It was. This is how pathetic. I'm going to go ahead and open the box score real quick on this one because Long Island couldn't even throw the football. I mean, they 4 of 11 for 49 yards. Oh wow, they got up to 49 yards. That's a miracle. So I mean, at one point they were like, their starting quarterback was 3 of 6 for 21 yards, and the backup that came in hit one pass for 28 yards. So yeah, and
good evening to Mr. Burr.
Oh, yes. Good evening. Have a good evening, sir. Take care. Oh, Poodle Parlor Day tomorrow. I got you. All right. Well, good luck on that. Hopefully they don't take too much off for you. Oh, what are you? What are you trying to read again?
Well, yeah, Deeple said he heard there were shenanigans going on at the hotel for Alabama.
Really? Oh, did you hear about those, JT? I didn't, but
no, that's why I asked him if they were trying to read again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you sure don't like the state of Alabama. I mean, you don't like Alabama
team. The state I don't have a problem with. It's just that team.
Yep. Well, SMU 16th ranked beats East Texas A&M 42-13. Kansas State in a survival game that went down to the wire, avoiding an upset. Kansas State 17th ranked pulls out a last-second win, 38-35 over North Dakota. Well, you know the Dakotas
surprising.
But the Dakotas really have good football teams, whether it's North Dakota or South Dakota. They're generally among the top of the FCS teams every year. And sometimes the state ones play pretty well too. But, I mean, this is a heartbreaking loss for North Dakota with the way this game ended. Of course, rounding out the top 25, we got 18th ranked Oklahoma, 35-3 over Illinois State at home. Texas A&M beats Texas San Antonio in a game that was a little bit close at one point. But they pull away 42-24.
Real quick. Oklahoma beating Illinois State 35-3.
Yeah.
That's what Michigan should have done if you wanted to read into that game.
Right.
Because they're going to be playing an Oklahoma team that can do that.
Yeah. So we're going to, that's going to be interesting to see this week what happens with those two teams meet. Because, like I said, New Mexico is perennially not a very good team. That's why I would have figured a 14th ranked team should have handled them by a better margin.
They're too busy watching Breaking Bad instead of reading the playbook.
Well, you mean their playbook or the other team's playbook?
No, their own.
Well, I thought they were specialized in reading everybody else's plays, but sorry. Yes. All right.
No, that's Alabama.
No, that's Michigan, remember? The assistant coach and your friend. Yeah, so. Oh, man. Yeah, some girlfriends showed up DoorDash orders at 2 a.m. Hey, but I tell you what, I don't say this. We don't do a lot with rumors and stuff like here, but I'm going to hit on this just a little bit. We don't know what's true and what's out there. It could be made up, could be legit. All I know is there is one hell of an unhappy fan base in Alabama. They are turning on DeBoer like really crazy. He's had four losses against unranked teams in 14 games. The fastest, much faster than Nick Saban and other coaches.
Seems like they're Rich Rodriguez in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which I know Deeple and I deeply love Coach Rich Rodriguez. So
I hear the sarcasm in your voice.
no. We
No,
loved him.
oh, you
We
do?
wanted him to stay forever.
Oh,
At
at
Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Deeple says, I love Rich Rod. Yeah. See?
Kind of like the way I love Phil Fulmer at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Glad to have you with us tonight, Deeple. Glad you could make it
Yeah.
tonight. All right. Well, we're going to get going in through the rest of this. Indiana. See, here's the thing: is once again, JT, what was one of the talk that we talked about last year in the playoffs, and again in the preview? Indiana, 20 rank at home, 27-14 over Old Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how can you take this team as being legitimate or worthy of a playoff spot? I mean, when you beat now, Old Dominion has upset some teams over the years, but you're 20th ranked in the Big Ten. You have you're up 17-7 on a team like this at halftime, and you only end up winning a game by 13 points against Old Dominion. It just
Not much different than Michigan with their deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh! I guess I'm going to be known as. See, I got several Auburn fans, and I'm trying to encourage them to show up because it's like we might be the anti-Bama channel now because Fallout Days are good. Bama fans deserve it.
Down from that Florida State victory, they're still enjoying it. They're on cloud 9.
Yeah, and Auburn won too this week. I mean, they gave up a lot of points, but they actually, they could win. They scored a lot and could enjoy the game. Yeah, Bama, they're snooties for years. What about Rod Rich? Ruby Rod! Hey!
No. Well. All right, folks. Well, it was great hanging out this evening. Dan, man, I got to go.
I need to find a new co-host. Sorry. Ruby Rod. Rich Rod. To finish out the top 25, Ole Miss beats Georgia State 63-7. Iowa State beats South Dakota 55-7. Texas Tech, 23rd ranked, 67-7 over Arkansas. Pine Bluff, and 24th ranked Tennessee wins going away over Syracuse 45-26 on that game. And these games that are in the conference, we'll talk a little bit more when we get into our conference matchups. A really good game was on Sunday night when the 10th ranked Miami Hurricanes hosted 6th ranked Notre Dame and pulls out the win at home 27-24, although Notre Dame had a late rally but lost by 3 points. Also on Sunday in the afternoon, South Carolina 13 ranked beat Virginia Tech 24-11. And
now that whole Notre Dame game, that really shocked me. Mm-hmm. But that's what they get for playing on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the. Yes, I agree, Deeple. I don't even like what the SEC does with the directional schools many times. I mean, they got so many. Yeah, I love it. All right, I'm getting trolled, and I'm the SEC guy. Yay! All right, but I admit it. So, but Notre Dame wins this game 27-24. So let's look at the.
No, they lose it. Miami wins it.
Well, that's in.
You said Notre Dame.
Yeah, I know. Well, Carson Beck, Mr. Broken Arm from the last Georgia game he had was, 20-31, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, CJ Carr made his first start as a freshman. Really impressive for a first start. In here, well, Miami ran for 127 yards. Also, if you look at the stats, we really got, really a good game here. When you look at the stats in here.
Abysmal rushing though for Notre Dame, which is they're supposed to be smash 'em up football, and they didn't do that.
No, but I tell you, sometimes I think that's where they need to do. They need. Let's see.
Hey Jess, aka SPD girl.
Jess, how are you doing? Good to see you tonight. Let me see. I'm trying to find the right screen because I'm doing this a little different than last year. Folks, last year I had graphs that my wife put together and I helped with. This year we're having to cheat. There's just too much going on in life where
we'd rather do the show than make a bunch of PowerPoints.
It's like
all day.
I know, because we had really nice graphs. She matched the colors to the color numbers and all. It just was just one of those things. So, but taking a look at this game stats here overall with Notre Dame and Miami here. Total yards of 315 for Notre Dame, 332 for Miami. Notre Dame had 2 turnovers in this game. They're really overall, though, pretty well balanced, although Miami was not very efficient on third down. And really time of possession, 7 minutes. It's still not so bad. They changed this big time from last year. You noticed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That really. So it really looked like a clean game. Take a look at the scoring summary. Let's see, that's where I don't have the scoring summary from like last time. So, but it's really, it looked like you remember years ago when this game was the highlight of the year whenever they played? I mean, everybody looked for it. It was Catholics versus convicts. You remember this game? The history of it?
No, but I mean, I know Miami was really good.
No, you didn't know that term?
Notre Dame was really
in
good.
In the 80s when Jimmy Johnson was there and Michael Irvin and all, it was known as the Catholics versus convicts. Truly.
Well, I came about in 86, so I can't really say much on it, unfortunately.
Wow, you're only 3, but anyway. But what we can see here is what happened is Miami actually had a 21-7 lead in the third quarter. And we look at the scoring summary, 21-7, they pulled ahead, but Notre Dame rallies for 17 in the second and the fourth quarter. They've got, and then Miami kicks 2 field goals. Actually, Notre Dame tied up with 3:21 left in the game, and then Miami kicks the game-winning field goal with 1:04 left in the game. So this really, I mean, Miami had a good lead, but you got to give credit to Notre Dame for rallying back here.
Do I?
Yeah.
Do I really?
Yes, JT, to be official and to be a pro, you have to.
Okay.
I know. Lemon. I love what lemon pie. When Dad Man ignores a chat, it's good. Which one? Oh, Ruby Rod. I don't want JT to quit on me though. That's
it's like
why.
A cross between Ruby Rod and Darth Maul.
Yeah. I agree. Deeple's right. Back Notre Dame and Miami, it would be more exciting if it was like 20 years ago, because that was a height between the 80s and 90s. The schools, it really was really, really cool, especially in the 80s. So, but yes, Florida still has shift, and they still run that crap a lot, and they're going to get their ass kicked by LSU coming up. And they could get upset by USF.
But they're going to look very good. They'll beat them, and then everybody will be talking in town about how they're back, baby, and how they're going to do so great, and playoff projections and all this stuff after 2 games. Yeah, I've been to Ann Arbor before, and they're basically no different than Ann Arbor. No, so I already know that mentality well. I know it well.
See, this is a point that I think a lot of people have. There's a lot of resentment about Notre Dame. And when it comes to football, it's like, just join a damn conference.
Oh, they refused to a point that, I think Michigan and Michigan State had been playing them for like 80 years straight or something.
Yeah.
And we just said, nope, not playing you this year. You want too much of the TV money. Nope. And so we didn't play them for 3 or 4 years. And they did not like that. They were scrambling to find other schools. And, they weren't getting as much money playing Boston College or whoever it was. So
right. Yeah, the Pac-10-12 exploded, not the Big 12. I would have thought Big 12 would have fallen apart. But the Pac-10, especially with the Rose Bowl, it happened because the big schools went to the Big 10. And that's when they got rated, not the Big 12. Big 12 was the leftover of the Southwest Conference that happened to expand. And a lot of people don't give a flying F about Notre Dame being independent. Yeah. Or that people still join a conference. BYU was another one of those that were last to the conference. And God, I'm trying to not make JT quit. Cross between Ruby Rod and Darth Maul, whether it be Ruby Maul or Darth Rod. Either way, it's an improvement on Darth Maul and a step down for Ruby Rod. All right, JT, do you want to take your school? Let Deeple know who we go for.
Oh yeah, so I'm a Michigan State alum, so they're my number 1 team, and then I also like Tennessee and Florida, being born in Florida, and then Dad Man of course,
Yep.
is the Florida guy.
Woo-hoo!
You're a fan of Oregon State.
Yeah, exactly. The Oregon State Beavers. Long story was that when I was about 12, I read the old sport, the stats lines on all the standings and scores and stuff. I perused them. I read those things like crazy on Sunday morning, and I all of a sudden one year decided I wanted to take the teams that sucked and all these things, and the NBA was like Golden State Warriors, it was the New Jersey Devils in hockey, and then some stupid Oregon State Beavers, and the latched on. The rest is history. So. Oh God!
Now, question for
look
you.
Look at lemon pie. Ruby Ronald crab legs. Dad's worst nightmare. Okay. Yes. Question. Yes.
Do you really think that Texas, Clemson, and Notre Dame should still be top 10 ranked if they all lost?
Clemson, yes, because they lost a close game to LSU. Who were the other two? Texas
Clemson,
lost
and
on
Notre Dame.
Texas lost on the road at Ohio State. You gotta acknowledge, and they did hold Ohio State to 14 points though. It wasn't like they went up there and dropped to 40. Gave up 40 points.
So at least
Notre Dame. Even Notre Dame,
it.
I say they had a good ranked matchup against the team. They lost by a field goal. So yeah, I think all three deserve to stay in the top 10.
See, I think you put South Carolina up at number 7 and kick everyone down a slot. But at least the AP did it right, where the first 6 came out with a win.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, and we'll take a look. We'll get to the top. This week's top 25 too. Absolutely, I agree with you. But that's where I would go with it. So, all right. So that's our first game of the night, the Miami and Notre Dame game this week. So that's, that was that's one of those matchups you like. We don't get as many of these matchups as we used to,
Right.
And it was nice to really see a good matchup on a Sunday evening like that. Of course, I'm still weirded out when college football is not played just on
Saturday.
On Saturday, yeah. I mean, these Thursday and Friday nights and stuff. And at some point when the MAC and all those get in, we're going to have football 7 nights a week.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So what we got there in the top, we got that. That's a roundup of the top 25. That was the one game I think of national interest. It's not in the conference. JT, we're going to go through these Big Ten results real quick here, and we'll pick on a game where you want to. Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, held West Kegel.
I warned you about this.
Yeah.
I warned you about this. I said this was an upset watch, and they didn't, but it got close.
They had a 31-14 or 31-17. They had a good lead at one point. Ohio comes back, and then Rutgers has to kick the last-minute field goal to win. Take care, Sashi. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you did call this last week. This was one that you had as on the upset radar possibly. So, but, yeah, Rutgers did pull away. They held off. Minnesota beats Buffalo 23-10 at home. This one had a really weird-ass play in it where the Minnesota quarterback hits his receiver in the leg on the ground. Ball pops up in the air. Buffalo picks it off and runs it back.
It's rare, but it happens.
Yeah. A game our friend Erica and Raph were following. Nebraska ends up holding off Cincinnati in Kansas City 20-17 last week. One of the first real games of the season, I think. But, and I'm not sure why Nebraska's quarterback is going around trolling or like parroting Pat Mahomes. It's like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Bo, hey, have a good one, Lemon Pie. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we don't like trolls, but then again, if the trolls come, we deal with them. Although I get trolled on my own channel. If you saw our stream Sunday night, my whole panel was trolling me, which was fun. We love it.
I was there. I remember that.
Yeah. Now, see, this one, JT, now help me understand, because you're the Big 12 guy. Wisconsin beats Miami 17 and what the Big God, you guys need to get off this Big 10 because you got like 18 teams, but Wisconsin, this is a team I historically have no use for, no respect for, because although the starting quarterback got hurt with a knee injury, they still struggled 3-0 at half against Miami of Ohio, win the game 17-0. I'm like, this to me is typical. This in Iowa is your typical Big Ten type of football, which is like painful. But
Well, the
what is
defense definitely showed up. I mean, what else can you say if the other team doesn't score? But that 17, they definitely had problems out of the gate with 3 points in the first half. You kick a field goal. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, that really just tells me that they don't know who is number one on their roster in a lot of spots. I think if they were to play them again in 2 weeks, they roll them over like 30-0.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they committed too many turnovers. There was one pick. Let's see, no fumbles by Wisconsin. So it's like they were being stopped, and of course, Miami can't pass. I mean, 83 yards passing, 34 yards rushing. And Miami's sometimes a decent, MAC team, but that's why Wisconsin. So you have your Michigan, you have your Ohio State, you have your very dominant teams, and then you have the rest. I mean, like you see, Nebraska's irrelevant, Iowa's irrelevant. But anyway,
right.
So Illinois beats Western Illinois 52-3, as we said. Michigan State. Okay, well, you're the Michigan State fan. What do you think with this one? A victory of
so
only
I could only
23-6.
really watch the virtual game because Michigan State athletic department does not want fans. And they don't want people, particularly kids growing up, watching their team. So they try to pick the most obscure channel that will pay them slightly more money and throw it on there. So nobody I know actually watched this game except my sister, who lives in SEC country and randomly got this game on some package she has. So they opened up just fine, 7-14. And then after halftime came out, it looked like they tried to put in some players they weren't so sure about. It just completely collapsed the second half. But it is Western. So, I mean, the fact you didn't let them score for the first 3 quarters, you can't really complain.
Yeah.
So,
well, see, Aiden Childs
they were either on Peacock or they were like on Fox Sports 2 or something. I looked it up already this year, and you have to have 6 different TV packages to be able to watch all the games that they've announced. There could be more coming later. So having just an antenna and getting 62 channels, I don't think I should need to pay for more than that, especially when the team's not very good, and they're showing how to make bunt cakes on CBS and infomercials on ABC while the game is being watched by no one.
I do believe it was on Peacock. I do believe it. And yes, I know it's attached.
Yep.
Watermelon and pumpkins. Yeah.
Peacock. Yeah, Deeple. So it's Peacock, Fox Sports, Big Ten Network, Paramount, ESPN, and help me out, Dad, man, with the last one. I'm trying to remember.
Paramount? I'm not Fox, TNT.
Yeah, I said Paramount. It was like the CW or something like that.
Could be,
it was.
Speaking of our Auburn fan, here's one of them right now. Small Town Republic. Howdy. Western Michigan open next season in Germany. Great.
Cool. Probably in
it's bad enough we have Ireland. Now we got Germany. Great.
That's cool.
Anyway, but hey, good to see you. We'll definitely be getting to Auburn, but yeah, GT. I mean, Aiden Childs. I remember him at Oregon State. Not really my favorite quarterback, even as a freshman. He just, but 17-23 for only 155 yards. Western Michigan may be decent, but still.
Well, I call the backup quarterback something that I'm not going to say on YouTube.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, as a Spartan fan, does this give you warm feelings for your team or not?
Childs, yes. The rest of the offense, I really have issues with. Have issues with. I don't think that they did a lot in the passing game, really, to speak of on the receivers. And the last 2 years, they could not catch a damn ball to save their life. Now, Amari Kelly, sure.
Right.
Everybody else, I mean, what do you want me to say? 5
I got you.
receptions for 32 yards. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, Wade, good to see you. North Carolina is the new FSU. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that if we have time there. So, a Steeple said Fox, CBS. Could be CBS, NBC, Peacock, Paramount, Big Ten Network, ESPN, ABC. Yeah. There's all these. But see, then again, the thing is you have got to pay for sports packages.
Yeah.
And
it's not Fox, it's Fox Sports. It's not they're not on CBS, they're just on Paramount. They're not on NBC, they're just on Peacock.
Are they also on that CBS Sports channel?
We don't
I don't have.
It might have been. They might be. I know they're on ESPN, but they're also on like ESPN Plus a week or something. It's beyond stupid.
Well, yes, UNC is where Bill Belichick is, and if you have Twitter, you can see all the things about his girlfriend on the sideline, either during warm-ups or the games. It's just like it's just like, dude, get her ass off the field. You wouldn't put up with one of your assistant coaches with their wife or girlfriend on the field, would you?
Taylor Swift stays up in the box. You know, she didn't come down on the field.
No, exactly. But Fallout Dave thought Belichick was at a middle school coaching his girlfriend's team. So, oh my gosh. Small time saying, speaking of the Beavers, there was a car in a race in Portland this past weekend sponsored by Oregon State. It was a NASCAR Xfinity Series. Well, that's nice of them. I wish they put some money and then get into a real darn conference so they can get some real damn quarterbacks that can actually throw the football and quit their junior high. Oh, God, it's going to be a bad year for the Beavers.
They're Pac-2.
They're Pac-2. Well, actually, they got 7. They've realigned. There's a few more of the state schools over there that have left the Midwest, Mountain West. But just still, it's hard to watch. Though. It's truly hard to watch them anymore. They don't play good football. And then they struggle with Portland State. I mean, this week they play Fresno State. We'll talk about that a little bit up there soon. But yeah, I when a university has to sponsor a NASCAR race up in the Pacific Northwest, something's wrong. So yeah, I agree. It's an acceptable conference, but the quality of football has definitely changed from what the Beavers have done over the years. You know, but yeah, the problem is you're stepping downward. In a way, you're not. It's like Washington State and Oregon State both got rejected by the Big Ten and the Big 12. And, you know, I mean, I think if the Beavers had been invited to either the Big 12 or the Big 10, Jonathan Smith would not be your coach. I think he'd still be in Corvallis. But unlike other coaches, he chose to. Now we're becoming the Bill Belichick show. Seeing video of Belichick being interviewed, and he's in a ratty sweatshirt, and the girlfriend keeps interrupting him. Like, yes, she did. Yes, he always wears those hefty bag or those pullover hoodies now, and she's always out there walking. Yeah. No,
I'm glad I'm not paying money to see that.
No, I don't blame
I really am.
I gotcha. Well, there was what JT thinks about his Michigan State Spartans.
Yeah.
Let's go
ahead. I don't have a warm fuzzy.
No, I don't blame you. I let's see. Get back on another screen. Yeah, because folks, that's the thing. The good things with my graphics last year, they were slides. I could just slide. So I had to do a lot of back and forth now. So, all right. Well, let's hit the
clap, and then slide.
Don't remind me of Billy Napier, please. That guy. He's a joke. He is a joke that got lucky with a 4-game winning streak last year. Because LSU wet the bed, so did Ole Piss, you know, because Lane Kitten can't win a damn title. So, you know, well, I'm not going to put that one up here, Fallout Dave, because of certain words, but he does not look like the coach that he was in New England. I will say it like that. But let's take a look at this one. Let's take a look at the game of the week. Number 1, Texas was on the road at Ohio State. JT, how did this game turn out considering what you expected?
You mean from this last week, the Texas-Ohio State game?
Yeah.
I honestly expected it to be a little bit closer than it was. And I know it's only 1 touchdown difference, but when I watched it, you know, the eye test, the infamous eye test, was very clear to me for most of this game that Ohio State has had control. And I really I am no fan of Ohio State, but I felt that the officiating was helping Texas
Oh,
and
really?
helping them mightily to stay in a number of circumstances.
That's
Yeah.
curious to see if anybody
Yeah.
else that said that, because see, Deeple right here, this has been one thing that I've heard for days, that Arch Manning was mocked as being this 5-star recruit and this number one draft choice and stuff, like the most
Mhm.
overrated of those ever. That he really looked bad. Although he was 17 of 30 for 170 yards, touchdown and interception. They also had the goal line quarterback sneak that was stuffed with him in it. Texas ran the ball for 166 yards. Statistically, you'd think they would have done more than they did.
17 to 30 is not special to me, though.
No. Neither is 13 of 20 either, but
No,
for Ohio State, it's like.
I'm Julian saying
Yeah.
there's nothing special.
Yeah, and look, C.J. Donaldson ran for 67 yards. There was not a lot about this game, this team, either one offensively.
Now, look,
you got 203 yards for Ohio State.
Yeah. They might have some of the best defense in the country on both these squads, but still, I was very, very underwhelmed by what Texas was doing, and I felt the only time they moved the chains was on some really generous calls, especially going into the end of the second quarter. They were really trying to help Texas get some points on the board, and they couldn't do that. So
right. And Deeple, I'm going to come back to your comment about if you were a dictator. I'm going to come back to that a little bit later. I like that point, and we'll discuss that a bit. But hello to E. Clay Thomas. Good to see you tonight. Hopefully you're doing well. And yeah, Manning needs to do prescription on those Warby Parker glasses. That's a cool comment. But glad to have you with us again. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, that's been the biggest complaint that I've heard with Manning. They did not play everybody struggles and stuff like this. Everybody has bad games, but when you get your first game in the big show, the spotlight, and you're now the man, the expectations are high. Your family name, your all the ranking of recruiting. I've actually heard somebody say that he really, if you put it honestly, Manning is more of a 2-star recruit. Now that probably is disingenuous and whatever, but I've also seen some video of his high school competition was not the best either. So I like what Deeple said here. This one really looks true. They played trestle ball, punts and field positioning. Gosh. When you look at those numbers, yes. And the mechanics, yeah, any criticism with mechanics. And
although I look at this schedule and I think Texas might already be screwed for the rest of the year. When I look at that, they're playing San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston. Then they're playing at Florida, who probably will still be ranked at that point. But if Oklahoma loses to Michigan,
but stop right there. Stop right there. That's a game early this season I thought Florida had no chance in hell to win. But if Manning plays like this, now you got the 3 Texas cupcakes now. I mean, maybe he'll get confidence back, but Florida's not that bad. I mean, I have my complaints with Napier. I still don't trust the son of a gun, especially on the offensive side with his running on third and whatever, instead of letting Lagway throw the friggin' football more. But going to Gainesville could be a tough trip for Texas. And that could be that. I mean, the way Texas has started out has got my Florida looking like, that could be a game at home that originally we wrote off, but they may have a solid shot if Manning does not develop quickly as a legitimate quarterback.
If Florida is good, and I'm predicting Oklahoma is probably not going to last much after Michigan. They're only going to play Florida and Georgia as anybody decent. The rest of their season, I don't have any respect for Texas A&M. So if they play Florida and Georgia, they have to win both of those games to be anywhere near relevant.
They're at Florida. They're at Florida, and they're at Georgia.
Right, which is why I'm saying I think Texas is kind of screwed because who have you played?
Well,
and if you're in the SEC, other people do play real teams on real schedules here.
But this Texas team, though, is very good defensively, and they could be the one where the defense carries them. So you can't assume that. That's why I'm hesitant with giving Florida too much more of a shot, because this is a very good Texas defense that could actually could hold up on the road game. They did. They only gave up 14 points to Ohio State. They could do the same thing with Georgia and definitely Florida on the road. So it's one game in, though. But I tell you what, I will say I love this matchup between both schools. And I think with the expanded playoffs and stuff, there is no reason we shouldn't have more matchups like this. Because my God, we'll see Florida in a minute. Long Island, ooh, they scored 55 points. Ooh. Damn it, you should score 100 against a team like that. But anyway, so I think you meant like Deion Sanders. Yeah, Deion Sanders' kid. Well, Deion though coaches kids hard though. He did. I think Sanders was good with his kids. That was interesting. I always like to see that, But all right, well, let's take a look. We'll keep going through the Big Ten, JT. Any other comments in the chat with that game?
No.
I know Arch Manning. Well, we'll see. It was not the greatest start for him, starting off as the Texas starter. So, but we will see what he does over the course of the season. But see, unlike Quinn Ewers had to look over his back the whole year. Manning, I doubt, will be a threat as a starter. I think pretty much he's going to, it's like Nico. I heard a new pronunciation for Nico, after leaving Tennessee. Nico, I'm going to leave you. I can say that better than whatever else. The thing is that, that's the problem I thought with Tennessee last year. They never sat him on the bench when he struggled. They never made him watch the game from the sidelines. And I think sometimes these Indian Arch Mannings, these younger quarterbacks, I think sometimes you need to put them on the bench when they're not performing. One, to send a message. Two, a lot of people do say the game is different. It's slower from the sideline, and you can look and you can see things on the sideline, and gives them a chance to look and analyze. But we're in the mode of nobody wants to bench any quarterback, and especially now in NIL, since you're paying people, kind of like the Dallas Cowboys will never get rid of friggin' Dak Prescott. Sorry.
Well, they had to trade away that great player.
Oh yeah,
a bunch
I know.
Of draft picks
yeah.
But
apparently he has some kind of vertebrae injury though that was passed on. So, but anyway, but yeah, it's but still, I'm sorry, I had to throw my Dak Prescott Dallas crap in there. Sorry. Which the NFL starts this week too, if you're into the NFL. Other games in the Big 12, we got Nevada, Penn State. Penn State wins this 46-11. I don't really.
Next.
Oregon wins 59-13 over Montana State. Next. Michigan. Well, let's take a look at these next two games. Let's look at the box score, because Michigan wins this game 34-17 at home. But to me, this is a struggle. This was a slugfest that really, when you pay a quarterback $12 million to come in, he should be better. He should 21-31, but only one touchdown. He ran 2 times for -5 yards. How's your $12 million working for you? Yeah, I am.
But they won. Oh,
unfortunately, Deeple, yes. Unfortunately, I am. Yes, but yeah. I mean, look at this: 3 interceptions for New Mexico. See, New Mexico. If you cut out the turnovers, this could have been a very close game. I mean, it's 24-10.5. But give Michigan credit.
Hail to Sam. Good to see you again.
Hey, Sam.
Great to see you on Sunday.
Oh, you know what was even better? I got to watch this BYU. I actually was with my cable package. I was able to share the BYU Portland State game with her and her whole family. And what a riot. That was one of the most fun games I've watched in a long time with everybody, Sam. It was a blast. I'm glad y'all had fun and the kids and everything. So hopefully y'all are all good tonight and doing well. So yeah, it picked the Jaguars too. But yeah, that was a heck of a lot of fun watching BYU that night. And they did great. And she still knows her school fight song, JT. That's good. Yeah. Bryce Underwood, who was taken from LSU, LSU offered $8 million to Michigan, comes in with $12 million. Decent numbers, but still only 34 points in a game. You're playing a historically weak team, but you got to give credit. New Mexico went in and held, very competitive game with this. So So next week we got, of course, this leads into the Oklahoma game this next week. Any other thoughts looking at the numbers? I mean, Michigan's running game is still there strong. Justice Haynes for 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, it looks like a typical power running Michigan team, but actually they may be able to throw the football for once.
They're still very unrefined. I would not write them out yet, but I also wouldn't give them the type of respect that the local radio stations think that they should get, which is, Heisman talk for Underwood and, which 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed in the playoffs are we getting? And I kid you not, Dad, man, after one win like this, that talk starts.
Oh yeah, it does.
So
it does.
I mean, this team, if they have another show this week like this, I think Ohio State's going to mollywop them, and maybe Michigan State will play them good too. So
who knows? Yeah. Sam said tonight's just normal crazy get the kids to bed, basically mutiny, just like the Dallas Cowboy training camp. Sorry. Yeah. Hey, so did Deeple say, Deeple, are you a Cowboy fan too? I might have missed that. But
no,
Deeple,
he's Browns and Bengals.
Oh, yeah. See, yeah, you're right. I know all those memes. Yeah, I have to dust off the VCR to watch them. But, yeah. But you know what? Oh, gosh. We're try not to squirrel too much, though, tonight. But I tell you, I still don't. It's not the same as in the 70s with a class organization like a coach like Landry and the ownership they had. Roger Staubach is your quarterback. I mean, they had some bad guys on that team. They did. It was the 70s. But it was really, I don't know, it was different. Nowadays, they got all these thugs in, and you got, your owner and all this, and for what? Nothing. Just if you might make the playoffs, and then you're out in the first round. But all right. So that's it with this game. So we'll see how this works in towards Michigan does on the road for the first time next week against Oklahoma. So, like I said, I don't know.
Indiana,
just a game
we also had Indiana on there too, if you wanted to.
Yep, I'm going to get to that. But the Mexico game, see, I have a harder time judging the real Michigan team with this game. Are they really not as good as we think? And they just had a really first game jitter with New Mexico? Because New Mexico sucks, and they should have been blown out worse than that. Or is it just that, or is Michigan maybe truly overrated? So
I'm not very impartial on that.
Yeah.
I think they're overrated, but hey,
I'm sorry to hear that. Another Cowboy legend passed away. Yeah. Oh man. Leroy Jordan. But yeah, they see now where I contrast that with this game. We're going to look at the Indiana Old Dominion game. This to me, if Indiana goes 10-1 or 10-1, does not win the Big Ten, they should not be in any playoff scenario, whether it's 12 or 16 teams. This team does not deserve it, because you and I in your preview saw how weak this Indiana schedule is. They've got another week scheduled this season, and when you beat an Old Dominion team 27-14, and they had a quarterback that transferred from Fernando Mendoza came from California. He was very good. Did a lot of that. Look at that, 309 yards rushing, and you got 27 points. They basically racked up 500 yards of offense, and you got. And then look at what Old Dominion did running the football.
Yeah,
218 yards on them. If 3 interceptions for Old Dominion, what if you don't have the interceptions?
So they choked in the red zone.
Yep. The
fact they don't have a passing touchdown.
Yeah.
It's really kind of sad.
And that's the thing is too, this Indiana Jones, God. 20th ranked, 27 points against Old Dominion. At home, not even on the road. Indiana, they're a fraud. I mean, and this is the thing is, I try not to be overly critical for the Big Ten. I would love a school like Indiana to do great. I would love a school like Illinois to do great and knock off Michigan and Ohio State. But they never do.
They never will.
Right. They never do.
They never will.
They never do. It's what's so frustrating. But I would like to see them do it. But But when you have games like this, there's no way. So, see, in this case, I think this is more of an indicator that Indiana is no good. They're truly an overrated team. They're not any better than they were last year, where we ended up deciding they didn't deserve that playoff spot because their schedule's so weak and they don't beat the good teams. Now, if they beat Michigan or Ohio State this year, if they play, then okay, there's something different with it. But to win a game like this by 13 at home, I do believe that this is unlike the Michigan games where I think you got to be careful drawing a conclusion into it. I think this game you know who the real Indiana is. They were who we thought they were, to quote Dennis Green. We had it right where. Oh, let me see. Deeple has spoken in existence the rule of Ohio, which is basic for each sport. There can only be one good team a year. Both can be bad, and for pro football, we routinely have chosen for a good team to play on Saturdays instead of Sundays. I don't blame you. Indiana Jones more relevant than the Hoosiers. I love that. Yeah. Illinois has everything needed to be good. Good old farm boys, big city, full recruits, but just awful. Yeah, exactly. Oh. So, all right. So I think that's all right. Well, let's get them. We're gonna get into the SEC.
Like 8 more games.
I know. We're just yeah. Well, we're gonna go through these real quick. There's not many to discuss.
There's Maryland, funny ones in there. Maryland.
Yeah, well, we'll stop. Maryland. Yeah. What do you want?
Maryland about expected.
Yeah.
Purdue stronger than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Northwestern. LOL. I can't wait for Michigan State to play them.
Do you remember when they had the bottom 10? I think they still do have the bottom 10, but they called it years ago. They called them the Northwestern Wildcats.
Oh, in basketball, sure.
Well, even in football, it was like there's no wild in that Wildcat. Hey, right. Iowa scored 34 points.
Holy crap.
Wow, that's a big. I got to look at that.
That's an all-time high for them.
Yeah, against a little school of Albany. Well, see here again. That's a big deal about this quarterback they brought in and throw. Look at that. 16 passing attempts, 15 complete. It's the same garbage offense.
They just ran the ball the whole game.
Yeah. And which means they're going to get their butt kicked against Michigan, Ohio State, or anybody worth the darn, Yeah. Let's see. We'll go back to there. Because E. Clay Thompson said Northwestern has the worst quarterback in the country. I got to see that name because that name. I think I remember that. I'll just see if I recognize the name with that. But this is fun, folks. Like I said, I apologize to just having to rely on ESPN this year. We just don't have time to. My wife is busy with everything else. Preston Sloan is their quarterback. Oh my gosh! You want to see now? E. Clay Thompson is onto something. 4 interceptions.
Oh.
There you go.
And there one over 500. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, geez. So, I mean, and see, you feel bad for a team like that when they've had some historical runs and stuff like that. But yeah, they've years of futility now. God,
you got 3 more fake Big Ten teams.
Give me 1 second. I got to deal with something on Twitch there real quick. So, but yeah, it's well, hey, Utah. I'm going to pick up a game. USC beats Missouri State 73-13. How about that?
That surprised me. It was so solid of a win. I'm going to keep my eye on USC a little bit more than what I did the preseason.
Oh, why do I sense a little sarcasm with that one? But yeah, here we go. But yeah, what's his name? Lincoln Riley finally get some success out in California. So yeah. Oh, Deeple says, what happens when Northwestern beats Michigan State this year? Oh, you pretend
tonight
like it
never happened.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see.
Yeah,
the game that I want to talk about. There's 2 more. Washington beat Colorado State 38-21. There's not much to spend on that, but
right.
The game I think of the conference of note is this Utah UCLA game, not to be confused with UCLA in the bottom pit of Australia, because it's the game that features Nico I'm going to leave you in his first start at UCLA. a big whopping 11-22 for 136 yards, a touchdown,
I
and an
believe you.
interception.
You weren't even kidding.
No, but that's a YouTuber started calling him that, and I'm like, I'm going to adopt that because I can't say the right name, but with the way he did Tennessee up and left them, that's pretty good. Yeah, and UCLA is a basketball school pretending to be a football school. Yeah, like MSU but worse.
Yeah.
So look here. I will say that what surprised me in this game, Kyle Whittingham is a great coach, and he took over for Urban Meyer, and he stayed at Utah, and he's really done a good job. I didn't expect this out of this team this year with Cam Rising finally retiring out of football, out of 10 years and so many injuries. But Devin Depke through only 4 incompletions, no turnovers, 2 touchdowns.
He also had more rushing yards than the entire UCLA team.
Nico's got 136. Nico had 136 through the air, 47 on the ground, and he's getting whatever he wanted in terms of NIL money. Devin Dampier deserved it more, So it's this is a game that I wanted to kind of focus in a little bit because I know the Tennessee fans, and we're going to talk about Tennessee a little bit because I think they're very excited now with their quarterback situation. Because I think, in terms of fitting Judge Heupel's system, and I don't know, you don't have a robo-dad running the team effectively this year. So that is it out of the Big 12 from last week. Did you
Big 10.
You have it? God, sorry, Dave. Now I'm calling you David. Sorry, JT. Is there any other things in the Big 10 that you want to talk about from last week?
Nope. Let's get rolling. All
right, let's get into the SEC real quick. We'll do this. We're going to go through some of these games quickly. We'll hit some, and we'll look. I think we hit the few national games, although we may talk about TCU, UNC for just a few minutes, only because of the coach. Missouri rolls over Central Arkansas 61-6. Hey, what is it? War Damn Eagle for my War Eagle fans out there. Auburn wins this game.
Yeah.
38-24.
I think I called that
I will tell you, I still look at Auburn beating Alabama at the end of the year. And after watching this first week, I'm more convinced of it. Now, Jackson Arnold, I tell you, if you can stop him from running the football, though, I think you can control Auburn's offense. He's a player that's got to learn, and he's got to be made to throw the football. He was only 11-17 for 108 yards. Now, he didn't turn the ball over. He ran for 140 yards, but in the SEC, I don't think he's going to have that kind of success in the SEC regular season. Baylor is weak defensively, which is funny considering Dave Aranda, our friend Whoopa Troopa, his big frustration, Aranda's supposed to be a defensive coach, and there's no defense. They ended up throwing for 419 yards. This was a fun game to watch. 3 touchdowns for Sawyer Robinson. But Auburn, this team will go as far as Jackson Arnold carries them. And it's a good time to be an Auburn fan, I believe. It's just, will the Jackson Arnold of Oklahoma show up? The one that can't throw. And if you force him to have to win a game through the air, they won't do it. So, hey, Sci-Fi Mombi. Hey, how are you? Thank you for coming by. Great to see you tonight. So, yeah, good to see you. Thank you.
I thought Baylor was trash. So, it didn't really change my opinion.
Yeah. See, small time, if you run the ball 16 times a game in the SEC as a quarterback, you'll end up in a cast. See, and so I think even small time Republic has that realistic outlook with this team. He cannot run the ball that much. He's going to have to throw the ball at some point to be effective, or he's going to get hurt. And of course, rumors were before this game they were going to play multiple quarterbacks. Well, they didn't. They only played one quarterback in this one. So.
The other thing, too, if you play in the SEC or the Big Ten and you're running that much as the quarterback, you take away your run threat, which is harder to establish than in the NFL, and makes you a much more predictable team. Michigan had a player for 3 or 4 years that just ran the ball like every play.
Right.
They lost a whole bunch of games because they had no receivers and no real pass game.
Yep.
It's hard to establish that pass game for a lot of teams, and you need to have that balance. Otherwise, you're just going to lose a whole ton of games, even if you don't walk off in a cast.
I know
it's
even
not
like Tebow in the SEC. As much as he ran, he had to throw the ball effectively. And when he didn't, they struggled. I mean, some of those games against Alabama, when they were able to force him to have to throw the ball a bit more, it does affect the player. But yeah, Jackson Arnold. I mean, give Auburn credit. I do think that this team could do a lot this year. I really do think they could actually, with the transfer in. Let's see, there's Singleton was one of the wide receiver. Eric Singleton. Now he had a quiet game, only 3 catches for 20. But he was dynamic at Georgia Tech. He's one that they need to get more involved in their pass offense for sure. Sci-Fi Mombi, by the way, what is your team? It's not. I know you claim Missouri. They won 61-7, but is it Missouri State, I think, or Southeast Missouri that you hail from? But yeah, let's see. Yep, 64. Yep, it's 64 total rushing yards for Baylor. Yep, that is. Yep, exactly. Of course, it's really about 83 less the sack yardage. But yeah, this game was fun to watch. But Auburn got out early and Baylor comes back. But I think you could tell the difference in speed of the two teams. And I was really like I said, I'm high on Auburn this year. It's probably because I'm not an Auburn fan. I'm a little more excitable. I'm a little more. See, I'm harder on my Gators than I am on Auburn. I think sometimes we do that with the teams they tried to run a little bit, so they did. Yeah, and Sam said, do you stick to one thing, you're going to become predictable, then you have no chance of working. Exactly. Balance. And Sam said that's an issue for BYU's teams in several sports. Being able to do a variety of tactics well is always beneficial, so. And Missouri State. Okay, Missouri State, former Southwest Missouri. I think I saw their name somewhere. Let me, when we get back to that.
Well, that was part of the problem with John L. Smith when he was at Michigan State and then at Arkansas. He, Arkansas for a little while. I think it was 1 year. He loved to just do your screen pass where you throw the ball 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then hope that your receivers can check on your outside linebackers. And it never worked, and it was predictable.
Yeah.
It would be 3rd and 1, and they would do it, and it would never work. Never. And that was part of the reason he got let go was just,
coaches. Yeah. Oh my God. It sounds like Obi-Wan Kenobi. John L. Smith. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Bring out your Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love it. But see, it sounds like clap, shift guy, Billy Napier. 3rd and 7. I'm going to throw a screen behind the line. Why? Or I'm going to run a draw. Why? It's like you got a dead guy like DJ Lagway that has an arm throw down the field. Throw the ball down the field. Quit with these 1 yard or screen things.
3rd and 14. You're not in field goal range and you run a reverse.
Anyway, don't get us started. But hey, Auburn fans, rejoice, because even if your season collapses now, you're 1-0, and a lot of people did not expect you to win that game. So good for you. So okay, we talked about Texas, Ohio. Hey, LSU and Clemson. I mean, this is a game that was really slow. It was a slugfest. But Brian Smelly, your friend, actually wins the first game of the season.
He's good at that, though. Brian Smelly usually wins the early game.
They have lost 5 or 6 years in a row.
Really?
He has lost.
At Notre Dame, they won.
Well, but they played nobody. But LSU, I will say, you got one thing to respect with LSU is they're not like Florida playing Long Island starting the season. LSU, the last several seasons, they played TCU, they played Florida State. They've actually played some real competition. So with that, here we go, Deeple. I love this. 2 things I hate most: bubble screens on 3rd down and running to the strong of the defense 3 plays in a row. Thank you so much. That's Billy Napier's offense. Yes. Yeah. Oh, in small time. Yes. Did you see that play that is Barry and Brown, that the transfer from Kentucky? They, even after review, said it was an incomplete pass, but he had the ball in his right arm, crossed over the pylon 2 steps into the end zone, and they still called it an incomplete pass.
Really? No,
Yes.
I did not see
No.
that.
It was high. You talk about Texas getting beneficial calls. This was a crime. This was like a street mugging thing. Like, hey, sing this to Evita. I'm not gonna cry for LSU. Bring out your Madonna. To cry for me, Argentina. Anyway, okay. Yeah. Oh, that play. Yeah, that play. Yeah, that was. It's See, I'm not either Clay because the Gators play them in 2 weeks, and I'm afraid the Gators are going to get really their butt handed to them. I don't know what to expect with this Florida team, especially when they go on the road, especially because of coaching. I don't trust the coach. But let's give Brandon Smelly some credit. LSU wins this game on the road.
This is the deciding year on whether they keep him. We've talked about that. I mean, not officially, perhaps, but de facto it is. Some
of the talk I've heard today, though, was also the fact that this puts more pressure on him actually having won this game, because now at 1-0, they're still highly ranked, and you're right, it should put more pressure that he wins, at least get to Atlanta for the SEC championship game. Garrett Nussmeier, again, 28-38, again, 232 yards. Had a good game where he didn't turn over the ball. That's one of the problems he had last year. Too many interceptions he threw. This LSU team does not look like they're going to be a little more one-dimensional, and not so much again on the run game. Although Caden Durham's a hell of a running back, again, it's going to be a pass-happy LSU team, which maybe Florida will be okay when they play, but they're playing in Baton Rouge, so you never know. Clemson also at home. Klubnik, 50% completion, had a pick. Look at the anemic rushing for Clemson. 31 yards on 20 carries.
Yes.
And you know what's scary is it's not like they had 30 yards negative of quarterback sacks. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that team is garbage. Looking at this, I think that team is garbage.
Clemson?
Yeah. They might win the ACC, but that doesn't mean much.
Well, they're supposed to be the class of the ACC, though. That's the thing. They're supposed to be the class of the ACC, but so much. See, I remember when he got the job, Dabo Swinney, when was it? I think he preceded the Tommy Bowden. I mean, I think he was after Tommy Bowden, and because that was a joke and a train wreck, and he got the job. All the people loved him. The Clemson fans, they were here in town, they loved him and wanted him to get the full-time job. And he's won a national title, but then after that, and he's one that's doing it the old way, not so much NIL or portal. He's trying to do it with recruiting and stuff like that. Hey, Pig Suey, yes. We got Arkansas fans. Dude, I love it, JT. Over the years, my show's gone focused on SEC. We got Auburn fans. We got Arkansas fans. I just love fans from all these different. We're so good. We even got people way out in BYU territory now.
Oh, yeah.
And we got Steve Deeple with Ohio State. It's just I love.
Well, the thing is, you just keep growing the Big Ten, and then you'll have you'll have fans in all 50 states.
There you go. Well, we'll have to probably bring in a big BYU segment for
when they get a big game going.
Yeah. But this game, just another, like I said, LSU's dominating defense in the second half, held Clemson scoreless on the road. Again, the Tigers are at the Tigers playing in Death Valley, and both stadiums are both teams playing stadium they nicknamed Death Valley. I don't get it. Anyway, and they both play that Tiger song.
You call one the kitty box and the other one the kitty bed.
Well, when LSU's bad, they could call it the litter box, but
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Marshall, Georgia. Georgia wins 45-7.
Yeah.
Of course, the game, and we'll take a few minutes. I'm just going to say Florida 55-0. This is not whatever. Oklahoma beats Illinois State 35-3. A&M struggled with UTSA 42-24.
Yeah, they're trash.
Ole Miss 63-7. Let's see. I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on Tennessee. We'll come back to Tennessee, Syracuse in a minute. Southern Miss loses to Mississippi State. This is a good win for Mississippi State. It was a solid win statistically. putting Southern Miss away. It continues their program struggles. Kentucky barely survives Toledo.
I might have lost that game in our
You did.
head-to-head.
Yeah, you did.
People, I called this Toledo team beating Kentucky.
But it was not a bad pit. It was not a bad one, because let me go ahead. We're going to catch a couple of those guys, because I want to look at Zach Calzada, the Texan. The Texas A&M transfer who was at Incarnate Word last year or some other school, throwing for all these yards. Poor Mark Stoops might as well retire. 10 of 23, 85 yards. They got the Georgia transfer last year that laid a big egg.
And an interception to boot.
Yeah, it's just like the bright spot was Dante Dowdell with 129 yards, and overall they ran for 220 yards. But you're not going to win consistently in the SEC with this stuff. So we'll see this week when they play Ole Miss. But then again, they did win at Ole Miss last year. So this was a game that
Toledo actually beat them in yardage.
Yeah, they did. They did. Looks like turnovers were about even. So it just. But with this game, I
thought Toledo stood a good chance. Okay,
yeah, they did. I agree, they did
well enough ranked in the MAC preseason, and people don't realize that those MAC teams have like their Super Bowl early in the year when they play an SEC or a Big Ten team, and that's always in the first 3 or 4 weeks that they'll play that team. This week for Western, it was losing to Michigan State.
Yeah,
it was Toledo on Kentucky. And they can win those games. Those games sometimes really embarrass the bigger school.
Oh, they do. They really, really do. And small time wants to keep calling them.
Toledo Mud Hens. Yeah, good baseball team. I think they're AAA. I want to say they're AAA.
I think they may be.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt beats Charleston Southern 45-3. I tell you, I still think Diego Pavia is going to come back to earth, and I think Vanderbilt's going to have a bad year this year when they get in the conference schedule. And for E. Clay Thomason, since he's here tonight, we're going to take a second. We're going to look at Arkansas, Pig Suey. Yes, they end up beating an overmatched team, but you know what? If we got people here from the team, I'm going to call out the team for them. Arkansas, Taylor Green had a good game, 24-31, 322 yards, 6 touchdown passes. Now, this is the thing is, can he do even half that when they get into league play, when they play better competition? But still, 6 touchdowns. I'm not going to sneeze at because he did a hell of a lot better than Florida. Florida's quarterback statistically. I mean, Florida didn't throw 6 touchdowns. But, yeah, it was very impressive outing for Arkansas in this game against Alabama A&M. So, again, Arkansas is one of those teams I have towards the bottom of the league this year. But honestly, if Alabama is down, Arkansas, all it takes is get hot. Sam Pittman's had some good success in the early years, but we don't know what will happen this year. It's really, Petrino going home, being at Arkansas so you can go home again. That is really weird how he managed to go back. And I believe I've heard some scuttlebutt that if Pittman gets fired, Petrino may be the coach at Arkansas again. Whether that's what people want or not, we don't know. But it's oh crap! It shifted on me. It's like a Billy Napier offense. Sorry, give me a second. I gotta get back to the right screen because it shifted on me. What the? Anyway. Yeah, it shifted on me. It went back to the top 25, JT, from the SEC. So, yeah. Yeah, let's see where we go. Okay. Yeah, E. Clay Thomason, we really got a tough schedule, but I think this year we beat Bama. Very possible. Hey, Clay, hey, you never know. You might have to. Don't laugh at it with Alabama. I mean, look at what they did at FSU, and I tell you, I don't know that Ty Simpson is going to stay quarterback for Alabama for the whole season. They've got a highly touted freshman quarterback on the roster, and there's going to be calls if they only get 17 points a game for the backup quarterback. Brett Lashley. Yep, that's another name at SMU that they could go after too. Yes, the coach was fired because of the motorcycle wreck with Misters. There was no show job method back enough. Yeah, he's the offensive coordinator, Deeple. He was the offensive coordinator at Arkansas last year. So that's what we call football in the South. Yes, he's the offensive coordinator. Yep. But yep, that's the one. Let's see what we got. Okay, we got all those games. South Carolina beats Virginia Tech 24-11 again on Sunday, which nice win for South Carolina. Lenore Sellers once again dominates, and Beamer balls back. It's the son of Frank Beamer is actually having success with South Carolina again this year, and we'll see what happens. The last two games we want to take a quick look at is Syracuse, Tennessee. In this game, Tennessee wins 45-26. It's a bit of a blowout. But I think what's interesting, Notre Dame transfer Steve Angeli threw for 274. But the key story of this game is Tennessee finding a passing attack. Joey Aguilar, transfer that's come in, 16-28, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and 246 yards rushing. I mean, combined with 4 backs. But what I've heard really out of Tennessee is a lot of being pleased that they're throwing the ball. If you remember last year, look at Nico Olivia at UCLA, 100 and something yards on 50% completions. That's what he was doing last year at Tennessee. You got a quarterback that's almost 67%, and he's throwing almost 250 yards, no turnovers, but 3 touchdowns. That is a good sign for Tennessee, and it could mean with their incredible defense, they could be a threat in the SEC this year. Because they've been silently written off with the loss of Olivia, and if they can get production like this, because Syracuse is not the best, but you know what? Not Long Island or anything like that.
Right.
So,
right. It was a real football game, unlike a lot of the others this week.
Yeah. Yeah. As OC, yes, Sully Hunter. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, though, he might be the coach in waiting, though. That's the problem when you have somebody back like that. You never know what the pressure is. If you start to falter as a head coach, you don't know where the loyalties in the program lie. So this game, that was the big story thing I wanted to say with Tennessee. Congrats to Rocky Top that y'all started out with a really not that they blew out Syracuse was a surprise, but I think how well they threw the football. That was the unknown from this team this year. Because you remember, JT, when we took a look at them last year, they ran the ball well with Dylan Sampson, but the passing was up and down. They don't have Squirrel White this year. They have few experienced receivers, but definitely a different type of team than last year's Tennessee.
I'm still disappointed that they didn't get that home field advantage in the playoffs. I think it would have been a different game.
Agreed.
From last year.
Yes, that would be interesting to see if he becomes head coach at Arkansas. Yes, that would be, because I think that would be interesting. But hey, oh man, I tell you, I don't know. Some days I would take him in Florida instead of Billy Napier. I just don't like Napier. You guys will stay around long enough. Now, I'd say I'll give him credit that they did improve last year, but I also there's stuff I see, the discipline issues, penalties, the coaching staff calls. It will happen later in the season as we go along. There's
always this, and I never wish it on anyone, but when you see a lot of that stuff around the program, you also start to see when that discipline breaks down, you'll see a scandal pop up somewhere, and then the coach has to leave. And I'm not saying I know anything about that or that it's going to happen, but a lot of times it does. A lot of times it
it does. Things pop up. I mean, but see, I was surprised that all this talk last year, there was so much fire and they didn't pull the trigger on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't get it. But anyway, and since the SEC doesn't have advantage now that everybody pays players. The last game from last week we want to take a look at. Alabama goes on the road, lays an egg at Florida State, which is interesting. This is not your normal Florida State offense. The Gus Bus only threw the ball 14 times. They ran the ball almost 50 times for 230 yards. Some of the things I saw was that they were doing fake plays, like they'd have the the offense look at the sideline and they'd snap the ball automatically, catching the defense off numerous times. And just do crazy stuff like that. Tommy Castellanos, if you don't remember, was the starting quarterback at Boston College last year till he had a falling out with, the former Penn State coach, Brian O'Brien. He was at Houston Tech.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bill O'Brien,
yeah.
I think. But, yeah, they had a falling out, so he transferred. He's at Florida State now. Only 9 of 14 passing, but 152 yards, but he ran the ball for 78 yards. Did a lot on his leg, made some first downs. But then again, here's another problem with this thing, though. Once again, the quarterback runs the ball 16 times. How often is that going? Now, Castellanos is a good quarterback. I'm not going to dispute him, and I've liked watching him play at Boston College. I'm surprised he did that on an Alabama defense, but I will say there's another YouTuber that really is an Alabama fan. One of his videos really pointed out very critical. This Alabama team is undisciplined and they're lazy at times. They showed one play where there was a running play, and you could see the Alabama player dogging it. He had the angle, but he didn't hustle, and he kind of just jogged. Then he started trying to run, but he had lost the angle. I mean, You're starting to see that stuff happen at Alabama on the field and during plays.
Do you think it was just a matter of them not treating Florida State seriously enough?
It could be, but I'll be honest. I think one of the problems, I think it is, especially on defense. I think Alabama's been struggling the last couple of years on defense. Because last year, this Alabama defense faltered big time at times. Like they gave up the massive collapse in the second half to Georgia last year, and they don't have the dynamic quarterback to make up for it on the offensive side. Because I think the biggest problem is going to be the quarterback. I don't think Ty Simpson is going to be a quarterback that can put up big numbers against good competition. I saw him when he made his first start, even as a freshman. He is very plain, very vanilla. And like I said, when the preview is, Alabama will go as far as he takes them. I don't think he takes them far. Because in this game, Ryan Williams got 5 catches for 30 yards. That is ridiculous. Gurmy Bernard got 8 for 146. Ryan Williams is their big play threat, as we saw last year. And only get 30 yards. What are they doing schematically with him? Now, Bernard, he had a big game. Maybe FSU concentrated on Ryan Williams and opened up Bernard. I don't know, but
that one pass, though, or that one play for 37 really skews those numbers.
Yeah.
So you're 7 for, what is that, 109 yards? And it really...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really doesn't show that, he might go to the NFL, but it's not this team full of 100% first-team All-Americans anymore.
No. I'm not a Simpson fan, but I'm glad he got the job. I hate seeing upperclassmen lose the jobs of freshmen, but it's just very pedestrian you got here. 23, 43, 254, 2 touchdowns, but only 17 points, But this is probably the biggest warning sign for Alabama, giving up 31 points to anybody.
Well, and not only that, they scored the first touchdown, but then Florida State came back and scored the next 4 times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
and then you only answer that that 4th time with a field goal. So you're going into the 4th quarter, 24-10.
Yep.
No.
On the road. And I will tell you, Tallahassee, Doak Campbell is a hard place to play. So it really, really is. So,
folks, I was sending Dadman Tomahawk Chop gifts.
Oh yeah,
like all Saturday. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was being nice to you. I was sending you make fun of Alabama things. That's what's so funny about it. It's like, hey, so that completes the week that was in the let's see. I want to say something real quick. If just for Sam, since Sam is out there still, let me do this. We'll do this real quickly because let's go ahead. Let's see. Let me do this for Sam since we talked about BYU. We got a BYU fan in the chat. Hopefully, she's still here. We're going to talk about BYU for just a moment. Because not just Sam. We've actually had some people last year that came through with the Mountain West Conference and BYU and them. That really, because there is good football out west. There really is. So this game, BYU started off their quarterback. They win 69-0 over Portland State, which I laugh because my Oregon State Beavers can hardly beat Portland State these days. So, but we've got this. We got here 69-0. They actually played 3 quarterbacks that night. Bear Bachmeyer is a freshman. This is what drove me crazy. I hope Sam is still around because she will have fun with this. She might not with the kids and stuff, but it's like number 47 for a friggin' quarterback.
What?
Why?
Okay.
Why? It should be single digit or below 20. I can't even stand 20, but I'll accept 20. But 47, that's a punter's number or a linebacker. It's like, I don't get it. Oh, geez. But anyway, yeah, 3 touchdown passes, 97 yards throwing there. I mean, it got ugly really quickly, nearly 500 yards rushing the ball for BYU, which is weird to me. I'm used to the 80s Lavelle Edwards BYU.
They blocked a punt and returned it for 6 as well.
Yep. They blocked at least 1 field goal. Yeah, it's just yeah, but like 500 yards rushing, I'm not used to that. I'm used to the Lavelle Edwards, the Jim McMahon, Steve Young, 500 yards a game passing BYU teams. But that was a little bit of a unique thing with BYU. So we're going to move around now, and we're going to take a look at the games coming up this week in each conference. So let me get back to the schedules here and the right things. Yeah, like I said, I really do miss having the graphics like we did last year, like I did with the misses. It's because it really made it for better flow. But I appreciate y'all's patience. We will get these things, and thank you everybody being here. We always appreciate that. So JT, I want to let you talk a bit more. We're going to see what you think with these games coming up.
Okay.
We're going to hold on our predictions, but we'll get through this. But the games coming up this week in the Big Ten are here. Iowa State at Fox at noon.
That's a tough one. That's the in-state rivalry, and it's always played pretty closely. It's really hard because Iowa should always win this game, but they don't. So, and especially with Iowa State being ranked, it should make for hopefully entertaining TV, especially with Iowa breaking out of their more than 10-point a game cap that they seem to have had for most of the last couple of years. So this could actually be a runaway game. It doesn't feel like that. The over-under on that is what, 41.5?
Yeah, that looks like
to me that looks a little low. I mean, I'm honestly not giving any betting advice. I just think that there might be a potential to have this really run up a score like we haven't seen between these two teams in a long time.
Yeah, I just let's see.
Especially with both of them winning, right? They both have not lost a game yet.
Yeah. I don't know though. I still take Iowa State. I think this one. Well, like I said, we'll get into
want to
the
give
picks.
away all
we'll get into
my picks.
But see, I just don't trust Iowa when it comes to playing a legitimate team on offense. Their track record and seeing the first game production, it's like they're back to the same play calling. They're bringing in quarterbacks to supposedly be able to throw the ball, but they have not changed their fundamentals of their offense, which is so heavy run first. But Iowa State seems to be able to adapt with whoever they're playing. All right, well, that's Iowa State. Baylor SMU. Wait, Wait, what happened? Oh, God dang it! Big.
Ah.
I am sorry, JD. You guys got to start being a Big 20 or
Well,
something.
Iowa was in the Big Ten, so I had no issue with
I
that.
know,
I didn't
I
see the
did.
next
Well,
game.
anyway, let's go. Gosh, this is.
Oh gosh!
All right, these are two kind of nothing games on
Mhm.
Friday night. Big Ten Network, both of them. Big Ten Network showing both of them. Wow. Western Illinois, Northwestern. Let's see if Northwestern could get a win. And Northern Illinois, the team that upset Notre Dame last year, on the road at Maryland. Any thoughts with these games?
Northwestern probably wins 10-3, and Maryland probably wins something like 17-13.
Yeah. Well, we'll go through the matchup. See, JT and I, we're probably going to be pretty quick on the previews for next week and get to our picks because what did we say when we looked at this week's matchups? There are not a lot of good matchups nationally this week.
Exactly.
There are dog week. This is going to be the dog week of it's time to do your yard or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like if Florida plays South Florida, but it's like I don't know if I even want to watch it because I'm probably if it doesn't go the way I want it's they're either going to win, struggle badly, and I'm going to be mad the whole time, or they're going to lose.
Look at that. ESPN thinks that it's going to be 54.5, and Penn State's going to pick up all but 12 of those points.
Yeah, I know. It's like what?
So
we got that on the Big Ten Network. Penn State, Florida International. Okay,
should be a nice, cool game. Partly. Mostly sunny and 66. That's great.
Yeah.
Football weather. If you want to go to the game, that would be a beautiful game to go to.
Yeah. Well, this is the game that could be interesting. Illinois at Duke stepping out to the ACC. The 11th ranked Illinois undefeated and really expected to have a good year this year. Goes on the road to Duke, who struggled early with Elon. Not Musk, but the college, and they pulled away late. But this could be an interesting game. This is a game to watch if you want to watch a game. I think it has an intriguing matchup between the two conferences, and just we'll see both teams in action. It's a good balanced matchup. It's one of the better matchups I think I saw in the Big Ten this week. So. Iowa State, we talked about. Kennesaw State, Indiana, just don't bother. Northwestern State, yes, the Delta Devils are on the road at Minnesota. This one I will say watch out for.
You think so? Huh?
Northwestern State, I saw them play last week. I've seen them before, and I don't trust Minnesota. Which Minnesota in the bottom 10 was always called Minnehaha. So, but
I see what you mean.
I
have a hard time picking Northwestern State for that.
I would too, don't get me wrong, but I could see, like you felt like Toledo with Kentucky. There are just certain teams that you always wait to just lay an egg. Like in SEC, it could be Kentucky. In the Big Ten, it could be Iowa or Minnesota. You never know. Okay, and then Ohio State is Grambling next. Just wow, that's
all weather right there.
But that's the thing.
Ohio State next.
Yeah, but Ohio State will move on, and all that, and you don't judge. You got these paycheck games. You have to fly over games, stuff like that. Oklahoma State at Oregon. This one on paper could be good, especially with Mike Gundy. I'm a man. At 6th rate Oregon, but
won't be able to watch it.
No, but I don't. Well, I think it's on regular CBS though. I think this is a 3:30 CBS game.
Maybe for you.
You should be able to watch it.
Interested to see who gets it.
Well, I think CBS is national with that one, so we'll see.
Okay, well, Paramount Plus is national.
Mm-hmm. Hey, welcome in, Kimberly and Hart. Good to see you. How are you tonight?
Hey.
So, of course, again, even though it could be good on paper, Oregon's just very dominant at home.
I love Oklahoma State, by the way. I think they're the best OSU team to watch.
Yeah.
But sadly, I don't think they're going to get that one.
Gotcha. I don't think so either. Miami of Ohio is still in the Big Ten, playing at Rutgers.
Well, clear your Saturday afternoon for that one.
Yeah. Or Middle Tennessee at Wisconsin. That game is going to be Another rough one. Total 40 over under at 45.5. And folks, when we talk over unders, we're not, like JT said, we're not a gambling site and stuff like that. We're just trying to see how many points they're setting, and we're laughing at it. Like how low can you go is kind of the thing we do. The game of the game of the conference this week is you're looking at others is Michigan.
It's this one. It's
Michigan
this one.
At Oklahoma at 7:30 on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
This game to be able to watch, at night prime time. I think we'll know if Michigan's for real with this game. We'll also know more about Oklahoma. Oklahoma playing a real team. What about the quarterbacks for Oklahoma? Will the transfer from Washington State really pan out? Will they against a good team? Against the Michigan is a solid team defensively, and when we look at offense now, will Bryce Underwood play the same on the road in his first road game? We don't know, but this could be a fun game to watch. Do you have any expectations out of this one, JT?
Expectations are to mute ABC because color commentary will be 100% behind Michigan, and it will be insufferable to watch. The rest of this,
Kirk Herbstreit, you mean? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be gross. And then I think you're going to see a lot of problems in the first half for one of these two teams, and they'll make a second half comeback. However, I think one of these teams is just too strong to really keep the other, we'll just keep the other one down. So I don't know if you want me to give my pick for that yet.
Yeah, we'll do it in a second. We'll talk more about that.
That is the game to watch, I think, at 7:30 if you're going to watch Big Ten.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and get through the rest of the Big Tens. Akron at Nebraska. Georgia Southern is on the road at Southern California. Lincoln Riley getting better on bad competition again. Because I'm really hard on it because he left Oklahoma to jump out of when they're leaving to go to the SEC. He goes to the Pac-10 thinking he can eat up that. Ends up in the Big Ten. So when we see how pedestrian USC and UCLA have been, this is an interesting matchup. Of course, if it's on NBC or Peacock, I think it's on NBC.
It should be on NBC for me anyway.
You should get a game, JT. So whatever you do, watch it. Boston College, Michigan State. This, I think, was also a good game to watch. I mean, so
it might be the closest one of the week between all of the teams. I don't feel good about Michigan State in this game after their second half last week. Right.
Exactly. Only a safety in the second half. No, I agree with you with that. But it could be a game to watch. And then Southern Illinois at Purdue. Purdue should move to 2-0 after having such bad years. UCLA at UNLV. Dan Mullen, the former Florida Gator coach, is returned out of the booth to UNLV. And they struggled to beat Idaho State in the first game of the season, 38-31. But they won. They moved up to 2-0. So, and of course, I'm going to leave you is on the road for the first time at UNLV. So we'll see what happens. This line
will probably change before Saturday night too.
Up or down?
I think it might flip.
You mean like in terms of the winner?
Yes.
No, I'm looking at total. I'm like, that's a high total with UCLA's offense.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right, and of course the last in the is the UC Davis at Washington in Husky Stadium. So that's
sorry. You put that game at 11 p.m. Eastern. No one is watching that thing on TV.
I try to. I try to watch
on the Big Ten Network.
Well, yeah, on the Big Ten Network. Who's got the Big Ten Network? I don't even know I got it, and I got a lot of programming options.
Right.
That's what's crazy. So. All right, well, let's go ahead and we're going to swip around. We're an hour and 45 minutes. Make sure y'all hit that like button, folks. We got up to 15 likes tonight. That's good. Yeah. Thank you for so many people coming through. Feel free to share your opinions and stuff with us as that you have. We're going to after this, we'll take a look at the top 25, then we'll do our picks, okay? I do want to run through the top 25 real quick at least.
Oh, you didn't want to cover SEC?
Yeah, I'm going
First.
to the SEC now. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
going to.
okay.
Yeah, but there's a lot of bad matchups this week. It's like, why bother? You know, San Jose State goes on the road at Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah, Utah State at Texas A&M. I mean, there's really not much to say. These. I mean, the only thing is highlight where you might see potential upsets. I don't see that in these. Austin P at Georgia. This is how bad this week in SEC is. The class game of the week may be Ole Miss at Kentucky.
Wow.
Now, the storyline is with this one is, will Kentucky went into Oxford and upset Ole Miss and really derailed their season last year, early in the season with an upset win. Didn't throw the ball well. They ran a lot, but Kentucky obviously cannot still throw the football, even though we went out to get a quarterback to do it. But they can run the football. Will they slow Ole Miss down? We don't have Jackson Dart again, but Ole Miss, Kentucky, is their defense back or is their defense weak? Well, I don't know. We'll see against Lane Kiffin offense. But if they can control the line of scrimmage like they did last year and frustrate the sophomore, the new Ole Miss quarterback, we'll see. You know, this is a key game, one of the key games I marked for Kentucky to see if they're going to be
anything at all
this year. Yeah, because this is a game that they should be able to stay in and be competitive. Hey, Simply Steve, no, SEC cover too much. Austin P. Governors. Yeah, they're going to lose big against Georgia, Steve. Good to see you tonight. Yeah. I see Deeple. I kind of like that. Oh, Grambling State and Ohio. I don't like last week. I only watched the Long Island from the side. USF is a tougher team this week. I may watch it, but I may not because all that's going to do is piss me off if they lose or if they struggle. But I'm like you.
I don't know if Ohio State has lost to an Ohio team since like the Wright brothers.
Yeah, I think
I'm serious.
Once. I mean, it's like they're like almost undefeated against the state of Ohio. But yeah, look forward to that Ole Miss Kentucky game. It's a 3:30 ABC game. That's how bad it is. They put it on ABC. That's how bad. When Kentucky and Ole Miss gets put on ABC. See, I would have thought the Florida South Florida game could have been an ABC game, but it is a conference matchup, so they would stick with it. East Tennessee State, Tennessee. There's not to talk about it. This could be another intriguing Kansas and Missouri. With Kansas, with their talented young quarterback, they could knock off the Tigers in Columbia. But again, that's probably why it's on ESPN too, is because it's an out of conference game.
Yeah.
So
just for Deeple there, the last time Ohio State lost to another team in the state of Ohio was when they lost to Oberlin in 1921.
Wow, that's a name you don't hear often. 19 Oberlin, yeah. My Florida Gators take on South Florida, which this is a game to watch for an upset, possibly.
You think so?
South Florida has challenged Florida a few times in the swamp. I'm concerned, especially after South Florida knocked off Boise State. Again, I don't trust Billy Napier's in-game coaching. I don't trust them to not have special team screw-ups and wasting timeouts.
I think you're worrying too much.
Clock management. I worry about him doing clap, shift bubble screens all the time and not running the friggin' open offense, trying to force the running game and two stuff. Yeah, I know. Go South Florida. This game I think is going to be easy for Florida. I think it's going to be at least a 30-minute game. It's going to at least 45 minutes. 45 minutes, about 3/4. Then they might pull away late. So yeah, I am an armchair quarterback. Absolutely, that's the way to be. Oh yeah, Big 8. I remember the old Big 8. Yeah, Big 8. Those are some names. So watch out for this, a potential interesting matchup. Arkansas State, Arkansas should be.
Is that an in-state rivalry of note?
Not really. I don't.
Okay.
Unless Clay's still here and can speak to that. I don't think so. They don't play that often, I don't believe.
Okay.
So like South Carolina State.
The next one.
Yeah, here. That's not really that's such a one-sided thing. I think that's really South Carolina looking to help out a smaller college with a paycheck. course, the same thing like with Louisiana Tech LSU. That game should be pretty much done. Now,
Wow.
the night game at 7:30 is not just Michigan, Oklahoma, but Arizona State, 12th ranked, goes on the road to Mississippi State, at Oxford. I mean, not Oxford, at
I can't
Starkville,
stand
Mississippi at night.
ASU. I cannot stand ASU.
Yeah, they don't have Scatterboo like they did last year, so it's like a different team. But we'll see what they do on the road at Mississippi State. This game could be interesting. I think it's a key game for Mississippi State to see how good they are. Because I only have them winning like 3 games this year, and all of them are the out of conference games. So, first game they look pretty good against Southern Miss, but the competition gets better from here with that. So this is another game you should watch for if it's on. At least take a look at it for a bit and see what happens and see if it's of any interest, how it goes. Of course, after Michigan State, Oklahoma, we got Ball State at Auburn. Easy win for Auburn.
That's an Auburn win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vanderbilt plays at Virginia Tech, folks. And this is where I think that, Vanderbilt, no, is not going to be able to sneak up on people this year. Virginia Tech has lost the first game of the season, but still, there's the way Vanderbilt ended last season, really on a down note, barely making a bowl. I'm not convinced this team is for real this year, but we'll see what happens. And of course, the big game of the night, UL Monroe goes to Alabama. Who would not love to see UL Monroe beat the shit out of Alabama? I would love to see that. UL Monroe won a game. They've struggled in recent years, but they had a pretty impressive win last week. Alabama coming off that loss to Florida State, and Alabama 21st. Well, who knew they'd fall that far? JT, any thoughts?
With their mascot, Ace the Warhawk.
Yes.
Out of UL Monroe.
Well, any other thoughts on that, of the SEC lineup, before we look at the top 25?
Pretty boring.
Yeah.
Give you that. Pretty boring.
I'm going to try to help the missus with stuff, hang out with a friend if they need to, or do my yard this weekend. It's like, it's not a weekend. See, I'll prep up for next weekend with LSU, but
sure,
as a Gator fan. So let's take a look around at the top 25 nationally. Folks, cheer in if your teams are in the top 25 or close to it. The AP, both polls are fairly close together.
See, I think Oregon at 6 and Miami at 5 is far better than putting Texas at 6.
Yeah.
I don't think Texas should be there.
Yeah. It's funny
You're
how
over a couple spots in the top 10, but
again, what have we said this time of year? What does a poll matter? We really don't know what these teams really are.
Yeah.
Because I could make the case Ohio State's not the number 1 team.
What it really does is it keeps Texas, like in the coaches poll, it keeps them up higher than they probably should be. I think South Carolina should be 7 and Texas should be 8, Clemson 9 and Notre Dame 10. What it does is when Texas wins against all those loser teams, it lets them crawl back up into the rankings for the CFP.
Right.
And
I agree.
That's not fair to some of these other teams.
I agree with Deeple that the polls don't matter, and really the coaches' poll should be ignored because it's not included. Yeah. But like in the AP poll, because you've got top 2 are Big Ten. Let's see, it's 2, Oregon's 3, Illinois 4, Michigan 5.
You got Oregon in there?
Yeah. I think Indiana would be 6. So there's 6 Big Ten teams.
Yep.
And there's
third of the conference.
Yeah. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 SEC teams in the top 25. So, you make a case for Alabama. But look at that. Alabama fell 13. But Alabama fell 13 spots losing to FSU.
Yep.
And yet FSU did not get in the top 25, isn't it? Oh, no, they did. They popped up to 14. Sorry. I looked too low in 19 in the coach poll. Hey, and like I said, I don't think Sam's with us anymore, but her team hit the 25th rank in the coaches poll at least. They actually fell, so they were in their coaches poll, but not in the AP poll. So
and hail to Wes Cagle. We were just talking about how we were going to clear our schedule for Saturday afternoon's game with Rutgers, I think against, was it Ball State?
Miami of Ohio.
Oh, Miami of Ohio. Wow.
And Penn State has another Whomper team too. So oh my gosh. Well, all right. Well, let's take. So that's any other thoughts? Any other big disagreements? If you look at the AP poll, see, I don't think Florida State should be 14th though. I think they're way too high. I mean, yeah, they beat Alabama, but we really don't know how good Alabama really is. I think this is a BS ranking. I think that they should have come in about 20 or 19, but 14 right behind Florida. I didn't know, and ahead of Michigan.
Michigan's too
or
high.
Even Iowa State, Iowa State is a good win over Kansas State, and I just don't like where they put them up that high. It's not like had they beaten Ohio State or Texas, yeah, but it beat Alabama. And although Alabama was, I think, around 9, would have been around 8. I don't think by beating an 8-ranked team you should get up to 14.
I'd like to see Indiana out and BYU in.
Yeah.
I don't think they've really done anybody any favors with these bottom 5.
Nope. Utah, though, it's neat to see them back in.
Yeah.
Texas Tech. Okay. Indiana, Texas, Tennessee moved up 2 ranks. See, now, I'll be honest. I think Tennessee deserved to move up at least 5 spots more than Florida State deserved to come in at 14. Because Tennessee answered a lot of questions. They had young receivers. The passing game worked. The offense clicked, and they found a quarterback, it looks like, against a decent team. Syracuse is not the best, but it's not like Long Island, you know?
Well, I'll tell you this. You might not like it. I think Florida and Michigan are about 3 spots too high each.
I don't doubt that. I would not disagree with it, especially considering who Florida played and the fact they only had 55 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a team they should have had 80 points against. I mean, JT, it was so pathetic watching Long Island play. The quarterback didn't even bother throwing the ball for them for 1 point. One took 3 attempts, the other took 2. Just they could not even throw the ball. They could not even block long enough to throw it. It just was. Oh, God. Rutgers gearing up for another stellar season of suck. Yes, because we talked about how they almost sucked away a loss the other day, having a 14-point lead, and then they ended up having to kick a field goal to win it. So, any other thoughts from you or the chat about the top 25 polls, and then we'll wrap up with our picks for this week.
I think we're good there. Okay. I agree with the top 5.
Yeah.
Maybe Georgia and LSU swap, but who cares? I mean, 3 and 4 swap, who cares?
See, I think Ohio State has too many first place votes based on what I saw. But then again, they did play Texas. I mean, you got to stay with that. So anyway, all right. Well, look, Miami, the U is back to number 5, which of course people said now with Miami winning, with Florida winning last week, and of course Florida State winning, that Florida's schedule just got incredibly harder, much harder than we already thought it was. So. All right. Well, that's it for that one. So then we're going to get over to our predictions. Anything else you want to say right now, JT, before we get into our predictions?
I want to do our picks.
I know you do. I've
been waiting all night for this moment, Dad. Man.
I know you have. Well, look, folks, here's the ugly, stinking truth. After week 1, JT is in the lead. Let me make sure I get it.
What was that? One more time.
Oh, come on. You're going to make me, man, I'm going to have to. JT is in the lead. He went 12-3 this week. I'm going to see if I can make sure I get it larger for all y'all to see. He went 12-3. I was 10-5. JT got Ohio State. Neither one of us got Alabama, Florida State. I got Kentucky over Toledo. Where you made up the difference was Cal beating Oregon State and TCU at North Carolina. That TCU, that was a game we were going to talk about too. TCU and North Carolina. That thing was incredible. I mean, just North Carolina scores first possession of the game. You think Belichick was reigning and all this stuff, and then it just like boom, it turned on the dime. I don't remember who said it earlier. Maybe it was Wade or somebody said about give Belichick maybe 2 years, he's gone, or maybe it was Deeple. I don't remember, but basically, I see that Belichick thing being like a Steve Spurrier in the NFL type thing. That
Well,
it's gonna crash ugly quickly.
and TCU, I think, was underestimated by a lot of people. A lot of people coming into this game. But I remember Jim Harbaugh coming back from the NFL to college and really struggling for years.
Yeah.
I mean, for years. But the thing is, Michigan nuked their two or three previous coaches, and they weren't going to get anyone better than him, so they just decided to stick with him, and then they cheated their way to a playoff victory. So that that did not. I picked that because I thought, Belichick's first college game ever. Yeah, I don't feel good about that.
Wes Cagle said, so November 1st is going to be a big game. Penn State, Ohio State. Absolutely.
They may even get a rematch.
Oh, God. Well, look, then the really big game, November 28th, Penn State, Rutgers with the vomit.
But you could see Ohio State, Penn State getting a rematch.
Oh, yeah.
For the Big Ten championship. So
absolutely. So basically what we had is, you took Utah. You got Utah over UCLA because Amaliva left me holding the bag. Texas choked on the road. So, there's your games there that made the difference. So JT's at 12.
Well, but I gave up Toledo at Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you'd have been 13-2.
Barely.
Yeah.
Just barely.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame let me down.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't. Well, and then Alabama. That was some good week. So we'll see. I'm at 67%, which is not bad. And then it just well, congratulations. So that's week 1. We're going to look at week 2 now. What we got coming up? Let me just make sure. See it. I hate
it when it always does that. Yeah.
And then resizes. So all right. So folks, we're going to look at here. All right, in the Big Ten games, Iowa to Iowa State. JT has Iowa. I have Iowa State. Any particular reason why you're going Iowa again?
They just tend to win this matchup, I believe, historically, and so I'm going to lean on that. I know the spread was less than 7 points on this, so it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
But I also think that everyone's underestimating just how many points are going to be scored. I think both of these teams are going to run away with it at some point. So that's why I picked Iowa.
I've taken the Cyclones at home. 1, they're at home, and 2, I'd never trust Iowa offensively. So, feel free. He's best as a pro coach. Yeah, folks, tell us who you think's going to win in these games as we come through them. Iowa State Deeple says. So feel free to opine. Oklahoma State or Oregon, we both go Oregon. On paper, the Cowboys are just Gundy, I'm amazed he's still got a job though.
Yeah.
I'm just,
as much as I love Oklahoma State, there's no way.
Yeah, he's just done nothing for years and stuff. And I'm like, how does he still have the job? Steve says Iowa though. Okay. Deeple says University of Nike. I think that's Oregon, and then of course Steve says Oregon also. So we both take Oregon in that one. To me, they're at home and I just don't trust Oklahoma State. That's the biggest thing. Next game, Boston College at Michigan State. One of the games that we said could be interesting. We both go Michigan State. Any particular reason why?
This is one where I saw last week against Western. There's a lot that still needed to be ironed out with Michigan State, but it looks like their defense might be one of their traditionally very strong sides of the ball. And they had a safety last week and kept the other team to basically nothing. So I think the defense is going to save their butts this week while they still try to figure out how to pass the football like a good middle school football team. So
I got you.
That's where I was going with that.
Well, if Thomas Castellanos was still at Boston College, I don't understand how O'Brien and him had a falling out. But that's the danger of this transfer portal and NIL now. And that's what some people said, that maybe Saban gave up because he saw the future where he couldn't just chew them out and threaten playing time and all. They just go everywhere. Because if Castellanos was still at Boston College, that was going to be a good team last year till he got benched and left the team. And if he was a quarterback for them, I would pick them in a heartbeat over Michigan State. But I don't trust Boston College either.
And
even a worse
at Michigan
offense at
State
Michigan State. Yeah.
as well. So.
Yep. UCLA, UNLV, we both go with the Fighting Mullins, and I'm like, Dan Mullen will go up to 3-0 because he usually wins games like this. And I'm gonna leave out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Iowa, UCLA was just whatever. UNLV not the best defense, but they are at home.
I think UCLA is junk.
Yeah. Steve says UCLA.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, okay, I forgot Missy's the Fighting JT Kirks. I got it. I like it. Michigan State, nice guys. Sorry, I forgot about it. I love that. That's the way to do it. All right. Deeple says UNLV. Steve says UCLA. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's see the next. Any particular reason? Okay. Well, I guess we did talk about that. Here's when we divide on Illinois at Duke.
Go ahead.
I struggled on this one a little bit. I mean, my gut with Illinois top 10 or almost top 10, but Duke did struggle with Elon this week. But Duke in recent years has been able to pull out some surprises at home, even against good teams like the Hurricanes and some others. So I think Brett Bielema, whatever the former Wisconsin coach is now at Illinois.
Yeah, former Wisconsin.
He went to Arkansas. I don't like him. I don't trust him and his teams. I see the Dukies coming up with a win this time.
And I also had a really bad feeling in my stomach trying to pick this game because I looked at this saying, "Oh, this is a stupid upset game just waiting to happen." But you're right. Duke really struggled against Elon Musk. So I had to stick with Illinois. I said they're probably going to run. They're going to ride that ranking well past its expiration date. So they'll win this one. It'll be a big road win for them, and people will talk like they've always been Illinois fans. And I really have nothing better. I mean, I did not study Illinois deeply for this pick, and I obviously don't really care about Duke not being in the SEC or the Big Ten. So I went with Illinois.
Yeah. Let's see. Mint says Duke's starting quarterback threw for almost 400 yards against Elon. So to me, it comes down to coaching more than the quarterbacks with this one. I don't know about Bielema. And that's kind of where I'm going with Duke.
Deeple, I think we both had that feeling in our Tammin and I both felt exactly like what she said.
At 10 points or less, exactly. Yeah, I agreed. That's so Duke is better at basketball. Yeah, that's a purely a random guess. No, I agree. That's what a lot of this. I think a lot of that's what a lot of these games this time of year, like we said with polls, it's kind of a random guess because these teams are still getting used to each other. They've only played one real game,
Some have played two, but yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. All right, we get into the SEC games and kind of both, but Michigan and Oklahoma, we both have Oklahoma. Why did you not go with Michigan on this one? I'm kind of surprised.
I think Michigan sucked last week. They won against New Mexico, but they really didn't deserve much of anything in that. And I think Oklahoma put away their team much, much better last week. Right. Their opponent was 38-3, something like that. I also think being at Oklahoma is going to be tough for Michigan to walk into. I don't see them having an identity yet, while I see Oklahoma really fighting for an identity as well. And I think Oklahoma just has a better grasp at that.
Right.
They're looking to make themselves a name in the SEC and other intangibles. I don't really know. I just looked at it and said, I like Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, like I said, like you said, Michigan road game, $12 million man there. I just, his numbers look good. They ran the ball well, but
I also hate U of M. So anytime I can root against them,
I know you do. Forget. All right. Well, we agree on that one. We also agree Ole Miss at Kentucky. Although if Kentucky can run for 300 yards again, slow down Ole Miss's offense. But I look for this one to get ugly fast. I mean, Kentucky they bring in the quarterback who had started off at Texas A&M 5 years ago, and just they still can't throw for 100 yards. That's what's so
yeah.
so bad.
I think Ole Miss will just do it. Kentucky looked so lackluster last week.
You got a big agreement out here with your assessment of Michigan.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Like I said, I feel bad for Mark Stoops. He's really a good guy, real coach. He's actually the leading, most winningest coach at Kentucky. He passed Bear Bryant, beating Florida the year before. So it's like great. So thank you for that. We also agree Kansas at Missouri, but that's another one I worry about with Kansas. They have a Jalen Daniels quarterback that been fairly highly touted. This Kansas team is one that's been so up and down in recent years, losing games that they should win and sometimes winning games they should lose. So
I'd rather watch this as a basketball game than a football game. Anyone else feel that?
That could be. Well, we still got 10 people watching.
He did just say Kansas at Missouri.
Yeah, Kansas at Missouri. Yeah, I do that like I say Texas. But hey, Arizona State at Mississippi State. We disagree on this one. Why do you take Mississippi State at hosting Arizona State?
I hate Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
2, I think Mississippi State has a lot more letters in their name, and
more cowbell.
Yeah. This was a gut feeling, nothing more. I looked at it and I'm like, Arizona State's probably going to win, but I need something to have that impulse buy. And so for me, that was Mississippi State. There's no scientific reason behind it this week.
Well, scientific, if you want it, Deeple wants to pick the Meteor for that winner in Arizona State. Yes. I go with Arizona State on the road. I think in my preview, I picked Mississippi State to win, but I still even though they had a good win at Southern Missouri Southern, they again 34-17 over a team.
It's Mississippi State though.
That's true, but also Starkville is not what it once was, though, my friend. I will tell you.
Yeah.
All right, Vanderbilt at Virginia Tech. I mean, I like I said, this year I expect Vanderbilt to go back to traditional Vanderbilt. Last year, because they struggled to even they limped into a bowl game, barely keeping 6 wins. Diego Pavia is good, but I think based on who he plays, I think when he plays some of the better teams, better defenses, he does not perform as well. The team does not score, and they become what they normally are with Vanderbilt. So that's why I'm going Virginia Tech, especially, and also with it being in Blacksburg, Virginia. What do you think?
I want Vanderbilt to be real. I love an underdog team and the comeback kid. Who doesn't? Mm-hmm. I also don't think that Virginia Tech is very good. They lost to South Carolina.
No.
Granted, South Carolina is now the number 10th ranked team.
No.
I think Vanderbilt might have a little more spunk than you're giving them credit for.
Maybe, but
I'm not very invested in this game, though.
Right. We'll go through these around the country pretty quickly because none of them are just. I mean, I struggle to pick 5 games from around the country.
Yeah.
4 of the 5 we agree with: Baylor at SMU, Virginia at NC State, Miami, Ohio at Rutgers, Stanford at BYU. I was going to tell Sam about that one because her BYU should go to 2-0 with this. If you don't have any real strong comments on any of them, we'll just Fresno State at Oregon State. We disagree. I don't trust the Beavers. I have seen them play this year, and I just don't. I'll cheer for them. I couldn't even watch the game against California. It was just like pathetic. It's and yes, all those games suck.
Except for that Miami of Ohio at Rutgers.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching that all Saturday.
Do you really want to watch a Rutgers game? Wes Cagle might, but
no, not even he wants to watch that.
All right. Well, folks, any other? Well, with the Fresno State Oregon State though game, why? I went Fresno State because I don't trust the Beavers. Why did you go with the Beavers then?
Because I thought you would go with the Beavers, and I wanted to help out your team.
I
don't like
that.
Fresno State. I really don't like Fresno
I don't.
State.
I don't either. I mean, I don't. I've never have. So I never have. But let's see. Let me
top 10 game, top 25 games.
I'm going back to that right now. I'm going to bring up the schedule again. I want to bring up the schedule.
I'm leafing through this, and I don't see one other than
Michigan, Oklahoma.
Michigan, Oklahoma is the only one.
Now Illinois, Duke. That's involving a top 10 team, but not a.
Yeah, the only ranked matchup is Michigan.
Because you got FIU at Penn State, San Jose State at Texas, Illinois at Duke, Illinois number 11, East Texas A&M. I'd love to see East Texas A&M beat FSU, those jack wagons. Iowa State, Baylor, SMU, Kennesaw State, Indiana. Okay, let's see. Hold on, I need to redo that because I thought it was by the.
It's by time.
Just by time. So we'll go back over here. I know what I'll do is I will go there. Top 25 this week: FIU, Penn State, San Jose State, Texas, Illinois, Duke, East Texas A&M, Florida State, Iowa State, Baylor at SMU, Kennesaw State at Indiana, Kent State at Texas Tech. I guess Clark Kent, Superman's University, Utah State at Texas A&M, Grambling at Ohio State, Austin Peay, Georgia, Oklahoma, Oregon. That could be. But it's not a two top 25 teams. Troy is at Clemson, Ole Miss, Kentucky, East Tennessee State at Tennessee, South Florida. Like I said, watch that to be interesting, but not a top 25 matchup. Cal Poly, Utah. Oh God. Bethune-Cookman, Miami. Oh man. South Carolina State, South Carolina. Oh God. Louisiana Tech, LSU, Arizona State, Mississippi State could also be a decent game, but again, only one top 25 team. And that gives you Michigan, Oklahoma at 7:30, and then UL Monroe at Alabama. So that is the there's not really any good matchups other than Michigan, Oklahoma in terms of top 25 matchups. So
I know Deep will be rooting for Oklahoma.
I love this. What is my punishment for not riding with my team? I don't know. That they'll lose the next time I'll pick them to win.
Probably. 12 flashes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, ugh. Yeah,
We're
there's
trying,
nothing.
People.
This is not. That's like I said. I might mow my yard or do something else.
We're digging deep.
Help the missus with a project. So all that. So yeah, I'm not good games. But hey, can't have it every week. But we managed to fill up to almost 2.5 hours talking football. So, God. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, God, I was almost Indiana Jones. Dun, dun, dun. God, it's a shame you can't play friggin' theme songs on. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. YouTube. I used to have an internet webpage that actually you could get free college fight songs. But I didn't go back and look at it for years. And next time when I went, you had to pay to MP3 everything.
Oh, man.
And you can just go play it. You can do it on YouTube for crying out loud. Anyway, yes, make a new child. Yes, so all right.
I don't know about that.
No,
we'll see.
We can say we're too old here, but anyway, it's okay. All right, well, we'll do something. Anything. It's not much fun with that. All right, with 9 people still here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. JT, any thoughts? You want to talk about things that you're going to be doing soon?
Well, tomorrow evening I'll be hanging out with Dave C. covering issue number 2 of Spectre, the 1967 run. And that should be pretty fun. The first issue was something else.
Yeah.
That. So, and we have ads this week for the comic that we're going to be reading through. So,
interesting.
Should be a fun blast from the past for the 1960s. And then Friday, I should be hanging out, or actually Thursday, I might be hanging out with Admiral Teague, depending on what work does. We're going to be tearing apart Strange New Lows. And then Friday, late night Fortnite with Mark D with the C.
All right. That sounds good. It sounds good.
Indeed.
Yep.
Indeedly do.
Absolutely. All right. So, what we've got, I got to figure out my Twitch in just a second. I don't know what it's doing. It's like I'm trying. Okay, I did enable anyway. But what we've got tomorrow night, I'm scheduled to do head west, go west, Dadman with Wes Cagle. We'll have a lot of fun with that. Scheduled just as long as things don't change with situations with my mother and things like that. Then we've got no stream on Thursday. No stream on Thursday. And at this point, but on Friday on the Mrs. channel is a stream that's been over 2 years in the making. At 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, we will have Sagacious Six, somebody that's all around YouTube, in chats and stuff, and sometimes on panels. She will be playing Fortnite with the Mrs. Me on the Mrs. channel. So, like I said, this is something over 2 years in planning. And we're finally moving forward to do it. Six is great. We had her on the channel recently and a lot of fun. So, hey, yes, I will share out the stream again too. And thank you, everybody here. I appreciate you. Oh, Deeples feels sorry for you on Thursday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I usually put up a pretty good rant for that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I will tell you, thank you for it being fun. Yes, I appreciate it, Deepo. And yeah, anything but watching these games. But hey, listen, don't wait. Hey, come back next week. You don't have to wait till OSU plays, because I tell you what, we loved your input tonight. Thank you for all that you did with input, Deepo, and and Steve and everybody else has had input tonight. We appreciate y'all and helping the channel. Oh, JT, can you put Mrs. Channel link out there for me real quick?
Sure.
Yes, hey, thanks for asking though, Deeple. She usually does a show also 10 o'clock mornings with her daily dose of positivity. But I don't know that she's doing anything tomorrow because she's with my mom tonight and there's a lot going on. So, but yeah, JT will put the Mrs. Yes, channel link right there. She does Lego builds, diamond painting, some Fortnite streams, and some crafty stuff. So check out her channel. If you have not subscribed to her, please subscribe. If you've check your subscription to this channel, make sure that you are still subscribed, because things happen. And I found out the other night, I picked up 4 more subs the other night. Two of them resubscribing. Two of them had been unsubscribed by YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And Steve, that's kind of it's hard, and she's hoping to get back this week into. Yeah, you were shockingly close. Yeah, it was close. She did, but thank you though, people. We appreciate it. Thank you, and invite your friends and everybody else. We'll be here on Tuesday nights at 9. And like we said, this year we're trying to take a look around the country. That's why JT's on with me about the Big Ten. We even talked to BYU tonight a little bit as we can, because in prior years it was all SEC. But, it became more interesting to have more variety in this year. And I appreciate JT stepping up to help on the Big Ten side of things. So, but yeah, the missus is trying to get back to normal streaming, but hopefully with Grandma going home tomorrow, then it would be after that. Of course, Thursday she doesn't have streams, but then on Friday. So, we're hoping to get back to something of a normal life very soon. So we've had to just move stuff all around like crazy lately. And like tonight, she's there so I can stream with JT. There's been Wednesday nights I've not been able to do with Wes because of being with Mom. So we're hoping to get it all back to normal very, very soon. But thank you everybody for your support though, through everything, asking about Mom and actually coming to our channels and supporting us. And I tell you, many, many days we get uplifted by you guys out there. Your jokes, your wit, your concern for us and our family, and that's what makes us a great stream, and this is makes it all fun and worthwhile. With people like you, and like I said, this has been fun because and I'm happy so many of you are turning into the sports. Thank you. Hopefully we keep growing it even more because it's grown since last year, and I know there's more just than the SEC out there. And it's like nice to see what's going around the country. Oh yeah, there's Wes Cagle. Yes, thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah, yes, you got a great game this week with your New Jersey. So, yes, I like this. I like this one. Support your local athletic supporter. I love that. Or as Beavis and Butthead write it, athletic supporter. So, all right. On that note, folks, we're going to say good night. You guys have a wonderful night, and thank you. And see you tomorrow night at 8 if we're live, and if not, see you next Tuesday with JT at 9 o'clock. But definitely catch the Mrs. channel again. Oh, shoot. You know what? Wait. I just realized. Deeple said, if I was dictator for a day, one of the things I'd make is limit college conferences to 10 teams. They must be geographically touching at least one other state with their schools are in. What do you think on that, JT?
Makes sense to me. I'd be for it.
This Big Ten from coast to coast is ridiculous. The ACC that's got teams on California's and they don't touch till it just kills me, It just I don't think it's good for college football,
Right.
So, but we agree with you, Deeple. If you're a dictator, we would go your way. So, yes, and like Legata says, like, share, sub, and chat in the chats because folks and comments. Leave comments too on the stream because it's all that engagement stuff. Yes. And as I said, if you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter. Nice. Okay, and I'm going to leave y'all here one more time with the link to the Mrs. channel. Oh, God, not the Rhode Island Institute of Technology. Oh, maybe 10. Okay, Deeple's willing to go to 12 teams in the conference, depending how you break it down. Yeah. Yes, that's why yes, that's the joke, Legatus. Jockstrap. All right, folks. Y'all go make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe here. Comment, like, all that stuff, as Legatus said. And also go check out my wife's channel. Help her get to 700 now. And thank you. And again, thank you all for a great night and a great stream. And y'all have a good day. And we will talk to you tomorrow or next time. Definitely Friday with Fortnite. JT, thanks again. And we will catch everybody later. Bye, all.
Bye, all.